joins the players will be unavailable for the semi-final. First Italy, now Portugal fall.
Sam is in there! Unable to take part today.
England, Sam, you're out. Gascoigne, you can finish it here!
Hello, yes, who will it be? Semi-finals day in Euro 96 has arrived, and with it, the one that's got the whole country in a frenzy. England against Germany for a place in the final.
All quiet here at the England team hotel in Buckinghamshire as the players take their pre-match nap. All the walking wounded train this morning, but as usual, coach Terry Venables won't announce his final lineup until just before the kick-off. There'll be one certain change, though. Gary Neville is suspended. Paul Ince comes back after his one-match ban. Incidentally, on the Jurgen Klinsmann front, Terry Venables received a fax at the hotel today telling him that Klinsmann actually trained. But with so much disinformation about, Venables, like the rest of us, will just quietly wait until the German team is officially announced. I wonder if he'll be in for a surprise.
Well, Chancellor Helmut Kohl is among those who've sent goodwill messages to the German hotel here in central London. As for Jurgen Klinsmann's role, despite one German newspaper claiming he will be fit to play, Klinsmann was not among the players who took a morning stroll in Hyde Park, and he's told German television he will not be fit to play. But Klinsmann will be on the team coach that leaves here at precisely 5 p.m. And by the way, the Germans have booked their hotel rooms until next Monday.
Now that, I guess you would expect, Glenn, wouldn't you?
Very much
the
so,
Germans booking their rooms, they expect to go through.
Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, they're going to be coming here very positive, yeah.
Decision day for Terry Venables, because there is no Gary Neville. How do you think he's going to play it today?
I think, looking at the Germans, Terry knows them inside out as well as the Dutch, and I think he'll want to play a back three. I think Phil Neville might come in on the right side, or Steve Stone.
As a wing back?
Yeah, and as a pushed-in fullback.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that their best player for me is Ziege, coming down the left side, and he needs to nullify that. If McManaman's up against him, that will cause us problems defensively, and I think Steve McManaman might be able to float a little bit.
And you go along, I mean, you do believe there's going to be no Jurgen Klinsmann in this side?
Without any shadow of a doubt, I
yes.
think you know, it would be a big turnaround if he did play. But I think I was up at Old Trafford and he did get a nasty injury. Which
means that they have got problems. Bierhoff obviously has got to play as a striker because he's also lost his partner as well, Klinsmann, hasn't he?
They've got a couple of options, yeah, but that's where they've looked a little bit lacklustre up front as a partner for Klinsmann. And maybe Scholl, is it? Scholl might
yes.
go in there and
Mehmet
play just off Bierhoff. And if that happens, then they're going to pack the midfield. We'll see.
And England have to find another Dutch performance?
Without any shadow of a doubt. I feel we need to get back to that sort of performance. I think we've got to improve on the Spanish performance in the 90 minutes anyway.
So can Terry go out on a winning flourish? Here he is with Gary Newbon.
Terry, it's the biggest game in England for 30 years. How comfortably does that sit on your shoulders?
Well, it's obviously high-pressured. There's a lot of expectancy. Everyone also knows what a good side they are, but we're ready.
What does it mean to you personally?
Well, it means the same to me. I should think it means to every Englishman. We're all very proud of the way the team's gone so far, and we hope to continue.
Would you say it's the pinnacle of your career so far?
I would say so, yeah.
Do the players sense it's something special this evening? I mean, they've had 4 games already, but this one...
Yeah, well, of course, the nearer you get, it always will be. It's... Every game has been important. You can't be more than 100% committed to what you're doing, and that's where they are. They're level-headed, and they're waiting to play.
It's been very relaxed here, but is it a sign of a few more extra nerves?
No, everyone's fine. Everyone was great in training this morning. They were relaxed and preparing right to the end.
Why are the Germans so formidable in these competitions?
I think it's the experience of being through the competitions before, retaining what they've done and keep adding things to their game, and knowing what world football is all about.
They seem to be quite tight as well. I mean, they keep coming at you, let you make them counter-attack and all sorts of things.
Yeah, they're very quick on the counter-attack. We're going to have to be sharp. We know that what our game plan is. They don't move too much, but they will move. They will mess around with their front and midfield players. and try and release midfield players to get forward at us. Also Sammer from the back, everyone knows that. It's, you know it, but you've got to deal with it.
Could be that last 4 days for you, could possibly mean 2 more matches for you, Terry, personally. Is it a bit of bittersweet feeling for you, this? Yeah, I suppose you could say it's something I'm used to, so I'm growing with that idea all the time, but it's also a little sad, but that's the way it is. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
We want you to do it.
Okay, so do we.
Terry talking to Gary Newbon this afternoon. I'm sure the whole country wishes him good luck when England take the field tonight. I know Glenn Hoddle does. Very relaxed, Glenn, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's important that he's relaxed, because that will relax the players in such a big tournament. But everyone's come up to me and said, well, if England win the tournament, that's going to be a problem for me taking over. I can assure you, I've said at the beginning that success breeds success, and I'm 100% behind Terry and the players, contrary to what some people believe. And it can bode well for English football and the nation, but it can also bode well for me taking over, because if we do win the tournament, it's going to be a magnificent achievement, and I do believe we are good enough then to go on and do the World Cup.
And that follows on from when we look back to '66, because probably the side that went to 1970, the Mexico World Cup, was a better side than won in '66.
Very much so, Bob. Yeah, very much so. And you know, if that result had gone differently against the Germans, I'm sure we'd have won that.
It's really no surprise to find Germany in the final stages of a major competition. It seems like they're always there or thereabouts, but would you believe that England had never actually lost an international against the Germans until after the 1966 World Cup final? Since then, mind you, England have only beaten them twice in 13 meetings. Gabriel Clark has been investigating.
There's been no quiet retreat for Germany. It seems they wanted a high-profile build-up. Just after the tabloids declared war, Bersy Voets and his side were in behind enemy lines at a central London hotel, almost demanding attention.
What, they're aggressive team?
They don't make mistakes.
A machine.
Very well organised.
Professional.
Great fighters.
If the old formidable qualities are still there, Jurgen Klinsmann isn't. That's why many experts now reckon the Germans are
beatable, Brian. Beatable at the moment, I think, the Germans.
Yesterday, Voets made England favourites and even suggested Gaza might be shedding tears of joy this time round. But Voets still has a goalkeeper, Andreas Kopke, whose performances have rivalled David Seaman's. And perhaps the player of the tournament so far in Matthias Sammer, the sweeper who can turn himself into a match winner. Whoever plays with him, the German system won't change, and nothing can dent that inherent self-confidence.
I just hope that it's a spectacular game for the crowd at Wembley. It will be a fantastic experience for every player to play in such an atmosphere, and yeah, we just can't wait.
Well, we've just heard that the German teletext has just said there will definitely be no Klinsmann in the side tonight, Glenn, but have they got strength in depth to replace him?
I don't think they have. I think we've been disappointed with any of the partners that Klinsmann's been playing with, and in the latter games, he's really only been the one that's looked like he's going to score. So I think it's a major bonus for us to have Klinsmann out tonight.
So who are going to be the key men who really upset England? Obviously, it was mentioned there, Matthias Sammer. He scored 2 goals from the back. He's had a couple of good games.
Yeah, Sammer's coming through from the back and looking very dangerous, and what's impressed me is the fact that when he is spare, he gets found. Sometimes you can be spare as a sweeper and the other players are not aware, but they seem to pick him out at the vital times, and he actually has come in and influenced the game tremendously well. But for me, I feel Andres Muller owes them a game.
Yeah.
He started well against the Czechs, but they gave them too much respect. The Czechs did.
He's had a poor tournament, you say?
He has, and I think if he plays tonight, I think he owes his manager a terrific performance.
And England have got to watch out for your star man and my star man in a way for the Germans, Christian Ziege.
I think he's a wonderful player, the best sort of pushed-in left-back, if you like, in the tournament, possibly in the world. If we play with a 4 across and Steve McManaman has to track him back, I think he could cause us some problems, but I think Terry will go with the back 3.
Obviously Germany have got the recognition of being an excellent side over the years and won many great things, and we're on the way there, and if we can get past this, then I don't think there'll be any stopping us.
When we played the Dutch, you know, everybody wanted us to win because they'd beat us quite a few times in big games, you know, in which the Germans have as well, you know, so it'd be nice to put one over on them.
For us, it's the biggest game of our careers, and really and truly, everybody's saying how well we've done to reach the point that we have, but it's not good enough for us. We won't be content unless we pick that trophy up on Sunday.
Welcome back to Wembley. England versus Germany for the right to meet the Czech Republic in Sunday's final. If you didn't know, the Czechs penalty shootout winners against France at Old Trafford. Hello, yes, a titanic struggle in prospect tonight. Let's first of all bring you up to date with the team news. Definitely no Jurgen Klinsmann in the German side, but a couple of minor surprises, John.
Yeah, he's obviously no Klinsmann, but he's left out Hassler, and he's playing Stefan Kuntz up front with Mehmet Schall. But apart from Hassler, there are no other real major surprises.
Jack, England?
I'm surprised at the fact that he's only playing 3 at the back. I mean, he's left Neville out. We thought he may bring him in. I'm a bit worried how McManaman is going to cope down whichever side of the field with
You
the
didn't
pace.
expect Platt to be in, Jack?
No, I didn't expect Platt to be in, but he's obviously wants to push Gascoigne a bit further forward. It's a very positive team he's picked, but I hope the Germans play on the break, you know.
OK, well, it's a marvellous occasion, and Brian Moore and Kevin Keegan, a truly thrilling atmosphere, isn't it?
Well, it's a wonderful atmosphere, Bob. We knew about that. Everybody at home, though, will be wondering, are England going to do it tonight? Let me ask Kevin that.
Well, I think the biggest boost for England was when Klinsmann didn't make it, although it's sad for the game. And the other thing, Brian, is what's happening at Wembley now is something you expect in a cup final, and that is going to be the difference tonight, and that's going to swing it in our favour.
England to win.
I've changed my mind. Germany were my favourites. I'm now going for England.
Bob, it's all yours.
We wait for the two teams to emerge out of that famous but nervy tunnel. This the latest chapter in an enduring football story of two proud nations. Now, Jack, this must bring back all sorts of memories for you.
The noise is the same, probably more now. I mean, although you've got a smaller audience, it really, with this roof they've put round in it, the sound tends to stay all in the middle. I mean, I remember walking out and it's very quiet, and then you suddenly hit the atmosphere and you have a look around, see where your parents are, see where your friends are, and then you walk across, you look at the stage behind the goals, and it normally up here at this end, it gives a piece on the board and it says England 0, Germany 0. And you think, I wonder what that would be at the end of the game.
Yeah. And John, for you, in all your experiences, I mean, this noise here now, does this surpass anything you've experienced?
Definitely, this is like a cup final, as Jack said. You know, you probably get this in a club situation, but you know, the atmosphere, I'm going to go out and save it at the moment, because in the studio we can't really hear what it's like. But Glenn Hoddle said you have to go out there and listen to it when the game actually starts. But it's amazing, and I think England will do well tonight.
I know what you two want to happen tonight, but I'm going to have to put you on the spot about it as the teams start to come up the tunnel. John, first of all.
Well, I went for France-England final, and one of my finals have gone out, so I'm definitely going to go with England tonight.
And Jack?
Well, I went for England to Germany final, which I couldn't have because of this game. So I'm going to have somebody in the final anyway. But I hope desperately that England win. It's going to be difficult because the Germans are a very good side even without Klinsmann.
Well, we're going to know very shortly now. It's time to join the #1 commentary team of Euro 96, Brian Moore and Kevin Keegan.
As the teams emerge on a mild evening here at Wembley, filled with noise and with high emotion, he awaits, like Sir Bobby Charlton, Wembley's biggest football occasion in 30 years. Jack remembers that, Bobby remembers that. They were such a big part of it 30 years ago. And who knows, the glorious bandwagon might just roll on to an even bigger one on Sunday evening. So first, as we all know, there's plenty of serious work to be done for England against Germany. Coming towards the singing of the national anthems, which has been so much a feature of these games here at Wembley in Euro 96, and the waving of the flag of St George as well. The national anthem's been sung tonight, the national anthem by Paul Young, and Germany's by Anna Maria Kaufmann, who's one of Germany's most versatile classical singers. Such a buoyant, brilliant atmosphere here. But first, the anthems.
Please stand for the national anthems.
superbly sung. A slight hiccup, it seemed, over the first national anthem. But the handshakes, which I think it's a terrific innovation, that. I'd love to see that brought in on every international we play at Wembley. I think it's the right way of setting about your business. England in those highly controversial, they say indigo shirts, dull grey, others say. And this is the team. England without right back Gary Neville, of course, suspended, but he's not replaced now by his brother Philip. It's David Platt who comes back into the side. Terry Venables obviously wanting to stick to the tried and trusted. What it probably means is that England will play with a back three, McManaman and Anderton down the flanks, with a solid midfield of three as well. Platt, Gascoigne and Ince, and Shearer and Sheringham hopefully will do the damage up front. Germany, of course, for so long the clear favourites for this championship. Now, as you can see, their most dangerous match winner, Jurgen Klinsmann, is out. There had been rumours that he might reappear, but they've been unfounded, and his fellow striker, Freddie Bobic, is also out injured. So the Germans will probably play with Kuntz up front, possibly supported by Freund or Scholl, and a strong midfield where young Scholl again keeps out Thomas Hessler. But watch out for Sammer at the back, and particularly his devastating runs forward, and for Ziege, who makes terrific runs down the left. Our referee today is Sándor Púl, a 41-year-old, he's a Hungarian, who was also in charge of the World Cup final in America in 1994. The rest of the squads, as you know by now, are the substitutes. The managers could pick any three to come on during the night. And the Germans going into a huddle. We're looking at Sándor Púl here. It's a part of the German preparation. They go into a big huddle, a last-minute huddle, where they say a few private words to each other. Important, that, Kevin, does that impress you?
Yes, they're very much together. They'll need to be tonight. They're in a cauldron here.
There's young man Gary Neville, who is suspended for this one, sadly missing out. But if England get through, no doubt he'll be fighting for his place again in a final on Sunday. It's Germany in white shirts, black shorts. They won the toss to wear their national colour. England had to switch to the grey. So here we go. And this is Sammer on the ball straight away. Some might feel that Germany, without Klinsmann and without Köhler, one of their main defenders who was injured in the opening game of this tournament, might be a little bit on the ropes, don't you believe it? Their spirit as a football side is unquenchable. There's David Platt, Darren Anderton, thrown to Germany. And in goes Stuart Pearce, banging it forward. Shearer battling away with Thomas Helmer. That's going to be quite a battle between those two tonight. Helmer's a terrific defender. Gascoigne will tease them, hopefully, and find an opening somewhere for Shearer and Sheringham. Big Tony Adams, who seems to have grown even bigger with the England captain's armband on. And a really garish outfit for our #1 goalkeeper, David Seaman. Hit long by him. Freund knocking the ball forward towards Muller, who's in a very advanced position. Maybe they're going to play Muller go forward. In the meantime, it's McManaman. Gascoigne had made himself available, but McManaman is obviously in the right frame of mind to take it on himself. An early cross in there from Stuart Pearce, banged away out, only as far as Paul Ince. Ince with the volley, fisted away by Kupka. That was a terrific strike by Paul Ince.
Well, a very positive start from England, but this straight shot, he's never going to beat the keeper, but he takes no chances here, and in the true German fashion of goalkeeping, punches it to safety.
Right start for England. Gascoigne with a corner. Kupka, who's just signed to play for Barcelona, a 2-year contract with Bobby Robson out there. And referee Poole unhappy with, presumably with a bit of argy-bargy that's going on in the 6-yard area. It always happens. Hit towards the near post, a little flick on. It's a goal for England! And Shearer has done it again. His 5th goal in 5 games. A smile from Brian Robson. Delight from the English
What a start this is, Brian. We've been really deadly from set pieces, but we really capitalise here. Flick on from Adams, and of all people to leave unmarked, Alan Shearer. That's his 5th goal. Beautiful delivery from Gascoigne.
A lovely flick on by Adams. A superb swooping header by Alan Shearer, and England 1 up. Well, we couldn't have hoped for anything better than that, could we?
We really couldn't, and, you know, really payment in full for Terry Venables' positive attitude here. Could have gone in with young Philip Neville, probably thought the game might be a little bit big for a 19-year-old. And we've got a very quick and early reward against an excellent German side.
Great goal for him. A beautifully delivered corner. A super flick on there by England's captain. And the sight all England fans wanted to see, the ball billowing the back of the German net, and problems now for Bertie Vogts, the German manager.
Well, it's the worst possible start for a manager. I've been there myself. All your plans, and now you think we never expect to be 1-0 down after a couple of minutes. And the first set piece as well, that would be very worrying for him.
Got it back by Gareth Southgate. Shearer leaping for this one, but gets beaten by Helmer there. That's battling through. Got Dieter Eilts, number 21 for Germany, getting there first. Wow. What a great start. Another note to be made, to be delivered at half-time.
Just probably written well done on there, Brian. I mean, they've worked very hard on set pieces, and we've said before how unlucky they've been. Well, it really paid off from there.
In goes Gascoigne. A rash tackle that on the back of Sammer. Got a bang on the head as well, Gascoigne. And Sheringham getting a very strong talking to from the Hungarian referee. I didn't really see that he was that involved. I think he wasn't involved. Germany take the free kick. Sammer playing it forward. Here's Shearer again. Free kick to England. Unfairly bundled off the ball by Sammer. Adams. Up towards Shearer again. Won the ball. Gascoigne. Germans in a bit of a tizzy at the moment, and Gascoigne is not helping them, but that's a goal kick. Well, it's a wondrous scene here at Wembley, and a fantastic noise from inside, and well, as I say, their spirit is unquenchable, the Germans, when it comes to football, so please don't start counting chickens yet.
That's for sure, Brian. The one thing I knew from my 3 years in Germany, they don't bottle it, they don't lie down. They keep plugging away, and they've got a lot of invention this side, despite being without Klinsmann. I do worry how they're going to score goals. As an Englishman, it doesn't worry as much as it normally would if it was our team, that's for sure.
Stefan Kuntz, the man who's furthest forward for them still. Handball by Eilts. He picked the ball away, but he said to the referee, "I just didn't hear your whistle, ref," and I must say, I can well understand that. England build on this wonderful start. Adams with a free kick. Floated towards Platt, who's got in behind them.
Great run there from Platt, Brian. It was just asking a little bit much of him so early in the game. But I think a lot of people, myself included, were surprised that he picked Platt. But the one thing for sure, he's got a lot of experience, and probably that's what just edged his selection.
Klopka's kick, knocked on by Sammer. This is young Scholl, playing it wide to the far side. We'll need to watch the runs of Ziga, who took the ball there. Now Sammer again. Nice little chip ball there to Babel. He's waiting in the middle. Andy Muller's made a little break down the line for him. This is Reuter. Oh, Gascoigne, no nonsense about that challenge.
Yeah, he's really wound up for this one, and some people say, just steady down, Gazza, you know, don't do anything silly. But you've got to give it to him. In this tournament, every game he's worked hard and he's committed himself to the cause.
Freund with a throw. Muller trying to get in there. And in the end, it's through safely to David Seaman. Some outfit he's wearing as well, isn't it?
I don't think anyone will go near him from corners in that outfit, Moro. You can't possibly say you didn't see the goalkeeper anymore. That's the one excuse the defenders won't be able to make.
Goes Shearer, but didn't get to it. Wilds let it run. Sheringham almost got in behind. Out came Andreas Kupka. Sammer. Or rather Ziga, and now Sammer. Babel, leaving it to Reuter, who's vastly experienced, was in Germany's 1990 World Cup winning side. Sammer again, played for Helmer, and then to Ziga. Sammer. England, everybody back behind the ball. Reuter. Muller down the line, a very good, well-measured pass. Muller gets it back again, playing it now for Eilts. Now the Germans coming into it. Elmer, he's got Ziga outside him. Kuntz waiting in the middle. Need to deal sensibly with this. And here's Southgate getting it away, up towards Sheringham. Nodded down comfortably by him to Gascoigne, swept to the left-hand side, but too wide. The moment you just get the feeling the Germans, like a boxer that's had one hell of a punch on the chin in the first round, they're shaking their heads and trying to sort a few things out, aren't they?
Well, the last thing they want to do, Brian, is concede another one, because then you're talking about mountains the size of the Alps to climb. But they'll just get on with it. 8 of these players play for 2 clubs in Germany, so they're used to playing together, and they'll just keep plugging at it, as we said before. They won't be rattled, because that's a hallmark of the German team, always has been. But England now just got to knock it around, be patient, and then break quickly on the Germans. They'll be causing a lot of troubles here tonight.
Foul on Stuart Pearce by Scholl. Mr. Scholl doesn't know Stuart Pearce's reputation, I think.
If he did, Brian, he would never do that to him, I can assure you.
No. Wasn't that a brave penalty that the Nottingham Forest man took?
Yeah, I thought it showed tremendous guts and character, and I think everybody felt what he felt when he turned around and looked at the crowd. He deserved that moment, and there'll probably be more to come in this championship for him. I certainly hope so.
Muller, Scholl. Right comes for Southgate. Played for Stuart Pearce. Trusty left boot, hitting it high and forward towards Alan Shearer. Shearer and Babel, and it fell in the end for Kupka.
What's noticeable, Brian, is that Alan Shearer's got such a reputation now, not just the 5 goals, but the fact that he's so strong. He's employing 3 of them at the back, and that's why we're able to get some joy just behind with Teddy Sheringham, and hopefully Gascoigne later on when he gets further forward.
Free kick for Germany. Foul on Dieter Eitz. Sammer's there, Babel's gone forward, Kuntz is there, Elmer's in there too. Scholl, that's a good looking cross.
Doesn't matter what gear you've got on, Brian, it's how you goalkeep, and he's been the keeper of the tournament by far. There's been some good ones, but he's certainly way out ahead in those stakes for my vote as goalkeeper of the tournament.
Taking on that point, it's not the gear, it's what's inside them. I think that's what Terry Venables was saying about this strip that we're wearing tonight, that nobody seems to like much. He says, no, don't worry about that, it's the blokes inside them that really count. But
Never judge a book by its cover. It's not, wouldn't be my first choice kit, but it wasn't theirs, to be fair. They lost the toss. As long as that's the only thing we lose, we'll be all right, Brian.
Shearer backing in on Helmer. When you think Alan Shearer came here, hadn't scored for something like 2 years, 12 internationals, 5 in 5 now.
Yeah, but it doesn't surprise people. We said before the tournament he could set the tournament on fire, you know, and he certainly has. And he's the one forward, along with Klinsmann, who's actually enhanced his reputation. The rest of them have been a pretty mediocre bunch, to be fair. Defenders have done well, but forwards who've done well have been few and far between.
Iltz again, long-standing defending midfield player with Werder Bremen, hit long by Babel. Who's gone up there? Sam has gone up there. That's always a problem. He went up a couple of times with great effect against Croatia, did the German number 6 last weekend in the quarter-final. Scored one and got a penalty for Germany with the other assault. There's McManaman. Gascoigne. Actually, Kupka could have picked that up. That would never have been construed as a back pass.
That's true, Brian, but so many goalkeepers just not prepared to take the risk because some strange decisions have been given in this tournament so far.
Ince looks full of running tonight. Anderton, little 4 for Ince, laying it on again towards Shearer.
He's had a tremendous tournament out there. He's been the unsung hero of the German side. He works back. Whenever Sammer goes forward, he works back. He's happy in all departments of the field. But he's a unsung hero. He doesn't really catch the eye that much, except maybe to the real professionals.
Anderton there to do some defensive work. Since that glorious summer day here in 1966, England have won only 2 of 13 matches against the Germans, so they had very much the evil eye on us. There's Reuter. They did well. Helmer's up there, Moller's in there. But he's surrounded by grey shirts, but he's found Helmer again. The cross is in there. Kuntz! It's 1-1. Well, that is a major blow.
Not for that man, it isn't.
No reaction from Bertie Boats. What about that, Kevin?
This is a clever goal. Muller does ever so well. He finds Elmer, who's really a centre-back. And this, he just catches Stuart Pearce sleeping there, just Kuntz, but he's first to react. But it's a super work goal. There's an appeal for offside there from Southgate, but I don't think he is. And he whips it in early. And watch, Kuntz is alive. And a good finish with his weaker foot, the right foot.
Meantime, McManaman's made a run while you're looking at that. He thought there was a handball as well, but there's not, and it's Scholl now for Germany. Adams. Sheringham. As I was saying, don't count your chickens, but it'll be a wonderful game to win.
It'll be a wonderful game to watch as well, Brian, because we've got the perfect start. 2 teams that have got respect for each other, but no fear, and with a lot of ability out there. And we've seen some disappointing games in this tournament. I don't think this is going to be one of them.
Sheringham knocking it wide. Played in towards Anderton. Ince going in again. His first goal in Euro 96. Stefan Kuntz, who plays his football in Turkey for Besiktas, the Istanbul club.
Here's the man who really made it for me, though. I mean, there was a lot to do. You've got to remember, this guy is a defender in their view. But when he gets into those areas, Brian, he's as good as any forward.
Kopka's ball. Jürgen Klinsmann with his calf injury Had a long conversation. I saw him on the pitch before the game. A long conversation with Teddy Sheringham and Sol Campbell and Nicky Barmby, of course, who was a Tottenham player with him. Tottenham Association.
Here's the goal again, Brian, from the reverse angle, and it's a super ball in, very difficult to defend. And it really was made out of nothing, just by one quick piece of thinking by Elmer for me, and a good little ball from Muller to start it off.
I tell you what, looking at it again, it was very reminiscent of the goal that Germany scored in the last minute of the '66 World Cup that forced it into extra time when Weber scored with the ball. Jack Charlton would remember that, I'm sure. Big Jack slid across that same area, and Weber coming in that same goal. And
Jack probably won't remember that, Brian. I wasn't born, so I can't back you up on that one.
Now McManaman. Sheringham. Come on, this is much better here by England. Gascoigne going in. Free kick to Germany. Not taken from the right spot. I'm glad you said about players with a lot of respect for each other. And honestly, in the crowd here at Wembley, the crowd with a lot of respect for each other, both English and German, and all the xenophobia that we've had over. I've had people ringing me up and talking to me here saying, hey, we don't feel that way. You know, we've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed the competition, but it's been in the right sporting spirit. And
it certainly has,
please make that clear to everybody.
Yeah, and I think most people understand that. And what sometimes I say is that one man writing for 5 million people to read is dangerous sometimes. And we've had some bad journalism over this, but the respect out there between, as you say, the fans, and that's very important, is excellent. The atmosphere outside was of just playful banter and good humour.
Muller, who's playing well forward tonight, isn't he, Andreas Muller?
Yeah, he'll play where he thinks he can do most damage. And, I mean, he's one of these gifted players who is, if he's deep, he can play there. But he's much better in the position he's playing here tonight. And he's been allowed to do that by the system the Germans are playing.
Up goes Sheringham. This is Stefan Reuter. Mehmet Scholl, son of Turkish parents. Stefan Reuter. 8 of the German squad are on yellow cards. 7 who are likely to take part probably at some point, plus Klinsmann who won't because of his injury. 4 English players out there at the moment on yellows. Oh, good challenge by Gascoigne. Took the ball neatly, but I'm not sure Plack did there. Sammer went down, a free kick to the Germans. Should just remind you that Adams and Southgate, Shearer and Sheringham are the 4 English players on yellow cards, and don't need me to tell you that they get another yellow card tonight, and were England to go through to the final, they would miss it. Adams and Southgate, Shearer and Sheringham. So if you see a rash tackle and a referee advancing towards them, hold your breath. Southgate getting that away, but into the crowd for a throw to Germany.
Even if you don't see a rash tackle, Brian, hold your breath, because in this tournament more than any I can ever remember, there's been some real bad yellow cards. There's been some deserved one, that's for sure. So don't tackle. That's the only answer to not getting yellow cards, I think.
The Guardian wrote about it this week. They said the refereeing's been a mixture of the irrational and the atrocious. Here's Gascoigne. But I think we've got a good referee here tonight. Sheringham. Anderton made a terrific break. Sheringham looked up and I think spotted him, but did nothing about him, and Anderton turned around in great disappointment. Germans looking very comfortable at the moment.
Yeah, they've weathered the storm of, you know, the goals got them back in it. They won't change that. They'll be patient, and then they'll break quickly when it's on to break quickly. I'm interested to see how Ziege and Anderton cope with each other. You know, I mean, if Ziege ends up winning that battle, that could be very influential on this game.
This is Iltz. Now Muller, who seems to be everywhere. Sammer. He is everywhere. Reuter. Sammer. Little Little chip by him over Stuart Pearce, hoping that Kuntz would get there, but it's a throw to Germany.
The way the Germans play reminds me of a concertina. It doesn't matter, really. The numbers don't mean anything. If Sammer goes forward, Eels comes back. If Babel goes forward, Ziege comes back. And, you know, it's not as if they're worried about being defenders. They can cope with that. They've got the confidence to cope with it.
Freund with a long throw again. Elmer's in the box. Muller's in the box. And Ince. Oh, goodness, we made a hash of that. Trying to get it up towards Sheringham. Scholl. Babel. Back to Iltz. Taking Kevin's point. Sammer was out of position there because he'd gone forward. Iltz took the position in his place. Now Sammer is back, and here's Ince. And now David Platt. A little touch now for Gascoigne. Gareth Southgate. Not a good ball by Gascoigne. He tried to reach McManaman, but German was in the way. Babel playing it towards Ziege, making one of those runs you see, and Anderton actually coped with it very well, but England almost putting themselves in trouble. Adams got them out of it. Southgate hitting it long, no chance for Shearer there.
I think Adams has done a tremendous job for England. His leadership qualities are without question, but his fitness was questioned. But he's never looked out of sorts. He's never looked unable to keep the pace of the games, and he's been a real leader. That's what I see in him. You look at him and you think, yes, he'll lead us.
Sammer again. Babel to Helmer. Nice with Platt. That's a better ball. Anderton now. Sheringham's waiting in the middle. Shearer's in the middle too. Shearer's come for it. Over the top. Goal kick.
Well, this is a great run from Shearer. He sees Sheringham go near post. He pulls away. Unfortunately, he's going at such pace, there's no way he can direct the ball down. But that's the first time we've really attacked since we scored.
Absolutely. Just going to make the point. The attacking players come at the other end. Ooh. Adams and Ince colliding there, but the desired effect was okay. It got it to Sheringham. Gascoigne, nice turn, but not quite good enough. In goes Pearce with the longest back pass of the night. No nonsense about it. And back with David Seaman. Pearce. McManaman. Nicely played on for Sheringham. Who's available? Gascoigne is, so is Ince. There's Ince. Yes, he played it just a little too far forward to be able to control the second touch. Oh, Adams has given it away, but he's got it back again from Muller. Did well, and McManaman, no, can't keep it in play.
He only borrowed him the ball there, didn't he? Having lost it, there was no doubt in my mind, or I think the capacity crowd here, who was going to win it back. Here's a guy we've got to get in the game, McManaman, and Anderton as well, but really more importantly McManaman, because he's the one player in this tournament who, when he starts to run at people, has really caused problems to defenders.
Muller to Helmer. Seager's gone down the line there. It's a free kick, fouled by Darren Anderton.
I think the referee's doing a great job. He's not letting anything silly going on happen out there. Nothing is silly between these two teams, but he's not booking everybody for the first rash challenge, which is slightly mistimed.
Bad ball played there. Andy Muller, I think, of all people, to McManaman. Got two facing him. That shows you what the Germans think about him. And Sammer. Oh, that was coolness personified there, chesting that down in the 6-yard area with Sheringham right on him. And just banged it away. Matthias Sammer, former East German international. Hanneman gets it back to Sheringham. There's Gascoigne, but Gascoigne was looking up, and as he looked up, Freund came in and dispossessed him. Freund taking it from Scholl. Kuntz is up ahead again. England asking for an offside, but not given. So Kuntz again. Scholl. And easy in the end for David Seaman. The old warhorse again, Stuart Pearce. Into Shearer. Finds McManaman. Back to Pearce again. Shearer. Ince. Shearer again, going very deep. He thought about a ball out to the right, decided to play it inside instead. Wasn't quite there to get the return. Southgate got in quickly. Shearer knocked it down. This is better by England. Played wide for Sheringham on the far side. Plenty of grey shirts in the box now for England. Back to Adams. And again. It goes again to Sheringham. And Adams again.
I think Sheringham's playing 10 passes a goal. We started on the edge of our box there. We've ended up almost back on the edge of our own box.
But they've kept possession, and their patient play is paying off. Except there was a good diving header there by Sammer. And now Reuter. But Ince is there to collect for England. Up comes Pratt. There's Anderton. Who's available at Southgate? Played down the line. Shearer, will he get there before the byline? The cross is a good one. And in the end, it's Babel who knocks it away for Germany, but that was a good break again by England. 1-1 the score here. Shearer for England, Kuntz for Germany. Platt. Anderton, the flag has stayed down. And England get a corner off Dieter Arts. It's going to be Anderton to take it.
It's a good ball in here, good control, but great defending from Arts again. He really is the man who, he's the insurance policy in this German side.
Again, Adams at the near post looking for the flick on. The Germans will be alive to it now. They've been marking Shearer. Babel is right on Shearer. A different sort now. Oh, goodness, that was Sheringham, and it turned from an almost impossible angle. You wondered how on earth he got it. I think that might have gone in, you know.
You just can't stop this. I mean, it's incredible. It's behind him. He's got no right to get a good strike on this, but he does, and I think he gets it just inside the post. He does. And it's it's Reuter who clears it off the line. You know what they're going to do with that corner, but for some reason, no one can stop it.
Here's Platt. This is a better spell by England. Anderton banging it in towards Shearer. Shearer's header goes behind for the goal kick. Oh no, corner. Came off the German.
Quite right. He headed it first, but it then touched the defender. And this is a better spell. We look much better when we're more positive. I think the side that Terry's put out is a positive side. You know, he could have elected for another defender in there. And we're more comfortable in their half than we are in our own, that's for sure.
Right, here comes the corner. Just past the half-hour mark, 1-1. Gascoigne's in a bit of space on the edge of the box. All sorts of signals going out there to Darren Anderton. Sheringham's peeled away. And in fact just got a touch on the head there. Moller. Charged down by Ince. Oh, that was a foul by Ince. Ince claims it was a dive. And Freund then wanted to shake hands with him, and Ince was having none of that.
This is very good refereeing because he pulls out of it, Paul Ince. But the German didn't know that, and he was trying to ride it. And I don't think either of them really deserve to be penalised for that.
Well, England are penalised to the extent of a free kick, but there were happily no yellow cards there. Here's Babel. Plays for Bayern Munich. To Sammer, who plays for the German champions Borussia Dortmund.
He also had a spell over in Italy, and it didn't work for him, so he's not always been the accomplished player he looks at the moment. Maybe that experience and the failure out there has helped make him a better player, Brian.
Here's Scholl making a break. but it's a goal kick. Keeping Thomas Hessler out of the side.
This is what's lovely about.
Isn't it great?
You know, I feel, you know, they said football's coming home, but it's gone back to the supporters in this tournament. We're not used to seeing Wembley full anymore, and it's started again, and it's going to bring so many kids wanting to come here. It's been a great advert for the game, the England performance in particular against Holland.
Free kick to Germany.
Those face paints are all right, but if you start to cry, it runs all over the place, so let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Exactly. Thomas Helmer, another Bayern Munich player. Shuddering challenge on Iltz from behind by Platt. Up goes Adams for this one against Andy Muller. Finds Gascoigne. Gascoigne tries to look for Pearce, but can't find him. It's a throw to the Germans. Say Freund hurls some quite good long throws in, but he thought about taking it. But it's Mehmet Scholl. Muller. And now Gascoigne. Shearer. Nobody up there with him. No foul. It's a really even contest now, isn't it?
It is. The score's right at 1-1. We started off very brightly, but then the Germans got the composure back and got the goal. And since then, I would say they've had slightly more of the possession, but they've never really looked like hurting us. David Seaman really hasn't been troubled. But then in the other half of the field, we haven't really created anything either. We've really got to get Gascoigne further forward, I feel. It's playing very deep.
Sama. Here's Gascoigne again. Ince just squirted away from him, but he manages to find Pearce. But that's a nothing ball really by Stuart Pearce.
What has been notable in this first 35 minutes, we haven't really been able to get the ball out to McManaman or Anderton. And I think that's the key when you're playing with, like we are at three at the back. Anderton's almost playing right back, which he'll be the first to tell you he'd prefer not to have to do.
I think that's because they are so worried about Ziege, isn't it?
Oh yeah, if he stops Ziege, I think he'll have done a great job. And it sounds daft, he's a winger and Ziege's a fullback, but he's so important to the Germans.
Sammer finds Reuter. And now Kuntz, long-range shot. It's a goal kick.
When you look at the German bench, I've played many, many times against this man, Bertie Votes, and he used to try and change shirts during the match. I used to have to say to him, Bertie, you know...
He did mark a bit tight, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And next to him, it didn't show in that caption, is Rainer Bonhoff.
Yes.
Now, with that, those sort of people, geeing the players up beforehand, they were two fantastic players, gutsy players. Paul Gascoigne in the crowd as well.
Whatever next.
He said he was all over the pitch, but he's managed to get on the terraces as well.
Goes Shearer. Hustled by Helmer. Further England. Anderton got up quickly to take it. Gascoigne in there as well. A little run to the touchline. Gets possession. Finds Shearer. But away come Germany again. And it's Ziege, the danger man. And he's got Kuntz inside him. And he's got Muller alongside him as well. But suddenly England. And Sheringham quite wisely, that was a clever piece of play, kept hold. He realised that Shearer was standing in an offside position. Couldn't make his forward run or his forward pass. Here's Stuart Pearce. England's turn to come forward. Ricocheted off the defender. Said to Kupka, you better get it. A foul by Shearer. Down goes Kupka. And Shearer said, come on, get up. You're all right.
I think if I was a goalkeeper, I wouldn't let anybody know I've hurt me like that. I mean, it was nothing. I mean, he's just saying I went for the ball. And he did. And possibly it was a foul. Might have been an elbow up. But look, remember in the old days, Mauro? My dad used to tell me he could bundle the goalkeepers over the line. See Terry Venables there, just slightly worried, because after a great start, we just look to have lost our shape a little bit. There's no doubt about it, the Germans are much more comfy playing this slow passing game. You know, all the players are comfortable in possession. I'm not sure that all ours are. We're trying to play that way, and that's great credit to them, but they're past masters at this.
Well, they've recovered splendidly from that early blow with that Alan Shearer goal. Gascoigne trying to quicken things up there. Play on, good decision, referee. Reuter went down as though he was poleaxed, but you'll not be surprised to know that he's straight up and on his feet again. Adams to Ince to Anderton. He's terrified of coming forward because of what Ziege might do to him. Ince playing it wide for Gascoigne. Now McManaman. Teddy Sheringham. Pearce. McManaman. Notice Kevin, isn't it? Every time he gets it, there are two there watching over McManaman. Reuter has an ally alongside him, wherever it is.
They've done their own work, Brian. You know, you don't have to be a genius to know that up to this point in the tournament, McManaman has caused defenders and defences all sorts of trouble. And the Germans really are very good, not just at man-to-man marking, but knowing when to pass on a player. And that's what they're doing to McManaman now. They're passing him on at the right times, and he'll be getting very frustrated because he likes that football at his feet, and he likes to run at people. But the other person, I think Sheringham's got to get further forward. I mean, he's doing a good fetching and carrying job, but he's way, way behind Shearer.
Gascoigne. Anderton. Saw a gap, made the most of it. Shearer supporting him. And the cross came in, straight to Kopka from Teddy Sheringham. Shearer had made that run outside there, but the pass went wider still to Teddy Sheringham. Pearce went flying in there on Reuter, and the Germans are very unhappy with the way Pearce went for that one. He's not on a yellow card, Stuart Pearce, but I fancy he might be. Pearce is saying, no, it wasn't that bad. But the Germans are incensed in the way that Stuart Pearce came roaring in there. Actually, when you look at it there, his eye was firmly on the ball. There's no yellow card.
I think, again, it's good refereeing. His eye was on the ball. It's certainly a foul, there's no doubt about it. And Reuter's got a bit of a knock on his head. But once this referee gives a yellow card, Brian, he's got to give everybody a yellow card. And that's the mistake too many referees have made so far. Now, he'll give one eventually if there's a bad tackle. But up to now, I think he's done a marvellous job.
Here's Sammer. Played once again for Reuter, who's fully recovered now. Scholl with a long, long cross. Ziege's on the far side. That's his header. On the breakfast table tomorrow morning. This will find something pretty dramatic for you, I'm quite sure. Back it goes from Pearce. England, say the crowd. Anderton, no, free kick has been given to Germany.
The crowd are going to be very, very important here. We're not having a good spell. We haven't really had a good spell since we scored after this, what was it, the second 2.5 minutes, whatever. But they're going to have to be the ones who lift the team. Because sometimes, like the players did, the players lifted the crowd against Holland. Now it's the crowd's turn to lift the players.
Holland's making the run. Tony Adams said, no, out you come, David Seaman, that's going to be your ball. And it's rolled out now for Paul Ince to make a driving run through the midfield for England. Gascoigne picking it up very deep still, as Kevin was saying.
Yeah, he's working very hard, isn't he, Brian? He'll be remembered in this first half for 3 or 4 crunching tackles.
That's right. Anderton. Oh, he's done well, Darren Anderton. Now, do we need a good cross? Shearer's header! Just wide. A great break for England. And Shearer majestic in the air, but what a good run by Darren Anderton. And a super cross to finish it off.
That's the first time we've really seen Darren Anderton put in a quality cross. He's got in these positions, and this is a half a chance for people like Shearer. Gets a great strike on it, just cannot direct it inside the post. The power he gets on this, Brian.
And look at that, less than a foot wide. Foul on Gascoigne. Cheers from the crowd. Free kick to England. 2 minutes to go to the interval now. Pierce floating it towards Gascoigne. Reuter playing it in. Oh, Sammer's given a back pass there, which could have been dangerous. They claim handball. Ince with a challenge that was a very strong one. Fortunately for him and for the German, he took the ball. Ince again, really fired up. Reuter's header. McManaman. Anderton. Back heel, but it didn't fall for McManaman. Here come Germany again. Kuntz on the far side, being hustled by David Platt. Babel leaving it now for Sammer. Helmer. Scholl making a good break. This could be a problem. It was Adam who charged it down. And now it's McManaman. Shearer away on the far side. McManaman's continued the run. Will he keep it in play? No, he won't.
You just said there, Brian, how fired up Ince was. I think one of the problems we've got there, it's a crazy thing to say maybe, but I hope you understand what I mean. I think Gascoigne and Ince in particular are probably too fired up, if that's possible. And they've got to just settle down a little bit like the German players in midfield, just start stroking the ball around a little bit more. I mean, there's nothing wrong with determination and hard work, but they need some finesse as well. And that part's been lacking in this first half.
Good point. Anderton. Reuter. Ince again. Gascoigne, the two we were talking about. That wasn't the cleverest of balls to Anderton. And I think Adams was a little lucky to get away, not conceding a free kick there for his challenge on Kuntz. But here's McManaman again. Played inside once more. Platt is furthest forward for England. But it was Ilks who got it away. There was an elbow there by David Platt. And a free kick to Germany. Summing up the first half, Kevin?
Well, absolute dream start. Terry Venables would have been delighted, I mean, to score after 2 minutes from a set piece. And I thought, yeah, go on now. We go and get another goal, and then we'll look forward to the Czech Republic. But the Germans just played their way back into the game like only they can. And I think they deserve to be level at half-time, there's no doubt about it.
It's going to be a big second half coming up. Alan Shearer having scored for England, Kuntz having scored for Germany. 1-1 is the story so far at Wembley.
Welcome back to Wembley Stadium, a tense, oh so tense Wembley Stadium, because it's England 1, Germany 1, and Jack, it started all so well for England, didn't it?
Great this, Adams, good flick on, and a diving header by Shearer.
Yeah.
The standard rule in football, I've done that with I've done this one myself so many times, it was nearly me doing it. Just a little touch on and hope somebody comes in and gets the knock in.
It was the perfect start, John, wasn't
Very
it?
difficult to defend against. You know, I think every club in the Premier League has a near post corner, and this worked to perfection. If it's a great delivery, great flick, there's nothing the defenders can do. And with someone like Alan Shearer around, you know, very often that'll end up in a goal.
Now, it all came, that corner, in fact, materialised. He's entitled to have the joy there. It all materialised from a Paul Lynch shot, and I was very critical of this goalkeeper, Kopke, because I don't like the way he punches everything dramatically. Well, it's a smashing shot.
They're very spectacular, the German keepers, and the European keepers tend to like to punch instead of catch. but that's bread and butter to a keeper, as you well know.
I think David Seaman would have caught that.
And that cost him the goal.
In his chest, he would have caught it in his chest.
Yeah.
When he was punching it from there and he's jumping. And when
nearly mistimed it, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, you never put your fist, Bob, as you know, to a ball like that. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
It skid off you, anything at all.
Let's talk about the German equaliser. It silenced us, really, didn't it?
I thought we let them build up a little bit too much down the right-hand side and get the ball across.
Now, is there any question, are they offside
no,
there?
They're coming, before the ball's played, they're coming back onto the wrong side. They're coming back on the side. But he should never have been allowed to have this ball in turn. So he was too far away from him, Southgate. When he knocked the ball across, it's a standard ball in behind the back three. And
I think they were quite fortunate because, as you see with the cross, it went through Gareth Southgate's legs. Any other day it could have hit him. I think that actually put Stuart Pearce off because Pearcey got caught a bit with the lad coming behind him, and you see it went through his legs there. Pearcey's on his heels, and Kunz comes in and slides it in. But it's fortunate, but, you know, those things happen.
They had a little spell then, John, without any doubt, didn't they, when we were really worried? There was a possession spell, but at least England began to show something, and they had I would call it a Tottenham ploy, the corner, where they went close, England.
They've tried this corner a few times in the Championships, and, of course, it's a Tottenham corner, and there's not a lot you can do to defend against it. Teddy's an excellent striker of the ball, a great technician, and he's got a good strike, and that was probably sneaking in the bottom corner.
And then a wonderful Shearer header, Jack, from an Anderton cross.
Alan is great at this, picks up a good position wide, and as the ball is going to be crossed in here by Anderton, he gets a chance to settle and have a look, and Alan comes in, and he's attacking a header like that. He's one of the best header of the ball in the game of football, and that sort of a header, Alan.
I think he would have been a bit disappointed not to hit the target because it was a good height, and he was coming onto it nicely.
OK, now, what are you going to do? You're going to give everybody at home hope here, John? First of all, how do you see it?
Definitely. I think that if England can keep Germany from around their box, Germany are going to have a lot of possession, but if you let them have possession on the halfway line, fine, but we mustn't let them get around the box. That's where they score the goal. And I think the second half, England will come out and they'll press forward a bit more. Anderton and McManaman are being kept back. I think we can get them going. I think then we'd have a better chance.
Jack?
They're just causing us too many problems in wide positions. They've got two players, the two fullbacks are going wide into wide positions, and McManaman goes to the centre-back to get the ball. He knocks it to the fullback who's gone wide. And because you've got three centre-backs playing only, you know, it's very difficult for Pearce to get close enough to the winger, although he should. He's really got to get close to that wide man because that's the only way out. Otherwise, they've got to go back across the middle. And he's not doing it, and they're sitting there and they're letting the Germans develop the attacks mainly from the people who are getting wide.
Right.
And McManaman can't get into the game because there's nobody giving him the ball. OK, thank you for the moment. 45 minutes then left for England to impose themselves on this game. But what of the other semi-final? That was between France and the Czech Republic this afternoon at Old Trafford. For the third time in the tournament, it went to extra time, and neither side managed to score the golden goal. So penalties, and they each had a faultless 5 before it went down to sudden death from the spot.
Now it's sudden death. You score one, if the next one by your opponents is missed, you're through. Tedros will take the first of the sudden death penalties for France. It's saved! Cobar has saved it! And France are on the brink of elimination. Miroslav Kadlec can give the Czech Republic a place in the final here if he scores from this penalty kick. They're there! The Czech Republic are at Wembley, where they will play England or Germany, and one of the most amazing stories in the history of this or any other European Championship is almost complete. The rank outsiders against all the odds have beaten another of the big favourites and are through to the final.
Yeah, an amazing story. Czech Republic in the final. Remember, it's Czechoslovakia. They did win the European Championship in 1976. Anyway, the second half to come here on this gripping night here at Wembley, and we'll be back in just a moment or two. Hello again. What a glorious sight, isn't it? Wembley Stadium, seen from our exclusive ITV blimp. It would be an even better side if England were winning, but it's 1-1 with the old foes, Germany. And Jack, you're just saying you think England need some more pace from midfield.
I think someone's got to run from midfield. There's a tremendous amount of room in behind the German fullbacks, particularly on the left-hand side. When McManaman gets to the ball, they're bringing 2 players straight to him. Now, the ball McManaman wants to play is the one in behind the fullbacks for somebody running. But Shearer's flitting to the right, Sheringham is dropping off into midfield, and there's nobody, Gaza or anybody, is prepared to make that run. And you've got to get Summer out of that middle.
Yeah.
And the only way you do it is to play the ball in behind people, and they've not done it at all.
Well, that's concern from you, Jack. Now, John, the German build-up, they seem to be dictating the pace. That's what's concerning you particularly.
I think we're playing at Germany's pace. Germany like to play at slow pace. I think we have to play the ball much quicker, because if McManaman can get the ball quicker with 1 against 1, he can take the defender on. Every time he's got the ball, he's had 2 people confronting him because we're taking such a long time to play the ball out. I think if we can play it quicker, we'll definitely get at them.
Are we hopeful?
Oh, definitely.
Jack?
Definitely.
I'm losing a bit of hope unless you do something about it, because we've got to shift ourselves in midfield or we're going to get beaten this game.
I don't like to hear that, Jack. Come on,
I don't like to say it.
Optimism we need here. So let's go back straight away. It's 1-1. Let's get back to Kevin and Brian.
Thank you, Bob. Are you losing hope?
No, I'm not. I think John Barnes' point is excellent. We're playing at their pace, and what we did against Holland, Brian, was we played at the English pace, but with the more European outlook on it, and it worked tremendously. And if we get back to that, we'll win this game.
Well, it was never going to be easy. And it stands at 1-1 now as we go into the second half. Anderton. Teddy Sheringham. David Platt to Paul Ince. McManaman. Shearer. Pierce. Steve McManaman's made a break. Definitely pulled back there. That's a free kick. And that could be a booking. It's a booking for Sammer, who's already got a yellow card.
It's
Reuter. It's Reuter. Well, he's also got a yellow card. So if Germany were to go through for the final, Reuter would miss it. So McManaman putting him under pressure. Another free kick coming up with Paul Gascoigne to take it. Away by Helmer. Gascoigne again. England's throw.
I think the assessor must have gone down at half-time, see the referee, Brian, and said, hey, we need to make some money, get some yellow cards out. We have to find them every time we get one.
Because well, it's the first yellow card of the game. McManaman. And Reuter gets it away. Problem for Bertie Folks to solve if the Germans get through to the final here on Sunday against the Czech Republic. Czech Republic having beaten France on a penalty shootout at Old Trafford this afternoon, in case you just joined us. Goes Babel, wins it comfortably. Miles does such a good job as an anchor man just in front of the defence there. Freund, but they're getting in a bit of a muddle here, and Gascoigne won't help them. Challenge there, I have to say, on Pierce, but the Nottingham Forest man's up and about his business. The referee has waved play on, and here's Paul Ince. Gascoigne, Sheringham, Pierce to Adams. And now Southgate. Actually, 13-8 favourites to win here tonight. Germany at 7-4. Anderton. Gascoigne. McManaman. Good challenge by Sammer. Set Germany going now. And it's Moller leading the way, taking the ball from Scholl. Kuntz is over on this far side. And some good work by Tony Adams.
Excellent defending this from Tony Adams. because you always worry a little bit when the big guys get dragged down into these left back and right back positions. But again, he showed there's nothing wrong with his fitness or his timing there with a great tackle on Muller.
Germany's throw. Freund with it. Backward header towards Kunz, but Adams gets it away. Up to Shearer. Pierce banging it forward. Sheringham heavily outnumbered up there. Still Germany's throw. Bookmakers saying also that they had one bet of £20,000 at 2-1 for England to win the championship. And one of £10,000, which was at 7-1 for England to win before a ball had been kicked. One or two people wondering if they're going to earn a lot of money on this England performance here tonight, but here's Platt. McManaman. Gascoigne to Pierce. Gascoigne again. Anderton. Plenty of white shirts back defending, you would expect that. Gascoigne again. McManaman. Anderton. Gascoigne making a little break, looking for the killer ball. Pierce might get it wide, but she does to McManaman. Inside for Pierce again. The ball hit early, a real big looper. And Darren Anderton here to receive it. He's got support from Southgate. The ball again played in early, right across the German line. Muller's made a terrific break down this left-hand side. Scholl on the ball now. And then Reuter. A lot of fluid movement there from Andy Muller, and Adams did really well. Stuck with him. And now England can break away again. Anderton. Ince. Sheringham. Ince. Playing a handball there against Reuter. Crowd on the far side bellowed, but the linesman, who would have had a perfect view, kept his flag down. The referee, the player had his back to the referee, so the referee couldn't get something he didn't see. Anderton. Now McManaman, take him on. And he does so. Will he get to the byline? Sheringham's made a good little run, but Kopka's there.
That's much better from England. I know McManaman had a bit of luck there, but it's no good as just passing it and passing it and passing it for the sake of passing it. There's got to come a point when we get it to, particularly McManaman and Anderton, and they turn and go at people, because that's what they're in the side to do.
Platt, Anderton. To the outside of the boot. Shearer there, ready to accept it. David Platt again. Gascoigne. Don't think Anderton will get there, but Gascoigne will pick up the rebound. A little ball flip to Shearer. Played in by Anderton. Sheringham couldn't get a hold of it. Sammer was too quick for him there. And Muller might just be too quick for Ince, who's trying desperately to get back. Kunz is outside him. The ball comes off. One defender hits another and is finally saved from going for a corner by David Seaman.
There's a fine example of the difference between the two sides at the moment. When the Germans break, Brian, they pass it a couple of times, but then they're always looking for some quick movement from somebody. In that instance, from Muller.
Offside against Shearer.
We tended to be a little bit more pedestrian, and
yes,
you can sort of read it easier. And that's the big difference between the two sides for me at the moment.
There's positive passing as opposed to the negative passing, really, isn't it? And the Germans showed that, and Andy Muller made a terrific break through the middle.
Well, that's what he's best at. That's what he wants to do. He just bides his time. They pass it a couple of times, and then he's off on his bike.
Here's Ziga. And now Sammer. And Pierce bringing the ball into touch before Scholl could get to it.
crowd love it every time Stuart Pearce gets involved, because he is them out there, you know. That's how they would be if they were out there. You know, he plays with his heart on his sleeve, and he gives it everything he's got. I played this testimonial at Nottingham. I went past him, but then I realised he was signing an autograph for a young lad.
Well, I've said before, he carries the burden of all his predecessors who have won something, either the World Cup or the European Championship. And under him, the Germans haven't exactly won anything of major consequence.
And he'll be thinking in the back of his mind, although he won't admit it, if we get to the final, you know, whichever side gets to the final here tonight, the Czech Republic are a side they can both beat. You know, they'll be favourites, whichever team advances from this semi.
Mind you, a few have made that mistake already in this championship, Kevin. Here's it. This is a good break. It opened up nicely for him. Now can England finish it off? Paul Ince's shot screams over Kopka's crossbar.
That just gets the crowd going again. That's very important. It doesn't always have to be a goal, a shot, a good tackle. This one's always settled a bit high, and he couldn't punch it away as he would probably have liked to.
Kopka's long clearance, met by the head of Tony Adams. Here's Ziga. Adams again. Out. Sheringham trying to get in there and did just enough to force an error and find Steve McManaman. Freund got back to retrieve the situation for the Germans.
There we saw again them doubling up on Steve McManaman, and what he's got to learn to do there is take them into a corner and then play it back out and let someone else take advantage of the fact that he's dragged two men out of position.
Wembley crowd again trying to rouse England. Certainly the men in grey are not lacking for encouragement here tonight. Helmer plays it long. Too long.
You want to go out there and play, Brian? You got your boots still? Those studs that you knock in?
Yes, dubbing them one up before. It's a foul by Babel, a free kick to England. Gascoigne with it. Purveyor of excellent free kicks. Sheringham's waiting. Platt also. Wonderful free kick in Bologna, England against Belgium. Sheringham to Platt, but not on this occasion. Maybe Shearer gets in there though, and in the end Helmer with a header, but it's not a very good one. Anderton's in there, and it might still come, but the flag is up. The flag is up.
If we're going to get anything tonight, you do feel it probably will be from a set piece. We've already scored one goal. And I didn't think maybe just offside, but it was very close, wasn't it? I've been surprised. We have been able to beat them in the air quite easily. They've got a lot of guys at the back who are 6 foot. We seem to be getting the better of the aerial duels.
Platt to Anderton. Adams half came for it, knew he couldn't quite get it. Kunz got there before him. Reuter. Half an hour left. What drama awaits us, I wonder. Helmer. It's going to be one of those nights again, I think. We're going to be on the edge of the seat. Ziga, this is good play. Ajax is in there. He's got behind us as well. He's played it back. And Helmer, of all people, defender who made the first goal, or the opening goal for Germany, was suddenly the furthest forward and the most dangerous. But a terrific piece of work here by Dieter Eilts, and it just maybe bobbled a little bit as Helmer reached it.
It's the two defenders here who causes trouble, and if he'd have kept that ball down, there's no doubt about it, that was a goal.
Bounced all the way to Shearer. Gascoigne. Sheringham. He's found McManaman on this side. Crowd wanting him to take people on. Gascoigne. And now Southgate. Crosses one in. Challenged by Gascoigne. Tony Adams. He couldn't keep it. And the ball just goes fractionally out of play before Gascoigne can hold it in check. Now, what does he do next?
Well, it's a difficult one, and whatever he does, he'll either be a hero or a villain. I think he's got to change something.
Well, here comes Sammer forward again. He's played a nice ball here for Ziga. Good play by McManaman. Crowd enjoyed that. And England needed it too. Ince, oh my goodness, I thought he'd been put in trouble for a moment. Sammer playing it in again, knocked down again once. Oh, it's England to get it away. Ince driving forward again, a free kick for the foul by Scholl.
Slightly. They're not causing David Seaman too many problems, and that's the one real plus point. I think Terry Venables will change it. I think he'll fetch somebody like Fowler or Ferdinand on, maybe at the expense of either Plateau or someone like Sheringham. Not that they've done badly, but I think we just have to change it. If it goes on like this, you feel the Germans are more likely to score than we are.
Here's McManaman. Up to Shearer. Oh. Boot was flying high there from Helmer, but the referee's played an advantage, and Anderton tried to make the most of it, but he's got Sammer to deal with, and also Ziga, and there was a delightful piece of skill there between the two Germans. And Sammer throwing the ball right across his own penalty area. Many a manager wouldn't be happy with that, but it's picked up on the far side. And now Babel can make a run, but no, he can't because the whistle brings him back. Free kick to England. Gascoigne over on that far side. Four men in these grey England shirts on the edge of the box, now joined by Sheringham. McManaman, Batt, Shearer, Sheringham, Anderton, all there, joined by Tony Adams now. Wants a good delivery from Gascoigne. And just over the heads of all of them for the goal.
You can feel this crowd just trying to lift the team. I don't think that's happened at Wembley for a long time. It's a good delivery here, but they sort of get in each other's way. In the end, Sheringham bowls Adams over, which I'm sure wasn't the way it was intended to be.
Night off from politics.
Look a change from watching Chelsea.
Taking it quickly. Gascoigne said, no, hold on, don't need to do that. Now Gascoigne takes possession. Nice turn. Did he get through? Oh, this is a great little run. Can he finish it? He's crossed it in beautifully. Oh, Lord, the crowd is Batt and Shearer and Sheringham were all in there after that little virtuoso glimpse of Paul Gascoigne. McManaman now. Ince. Just wouldn't run, and in the end, McManaman's shot more in danger to the crowd behind the goal than to Andreas Kupka.
This is wonderful skill. He has his little bit of luck, which you always need. He nicks away there, and then this is delightful. This knocks it round him, and you know it's a great ball he's delivered. Someone's got to take a chance across the front of the keeper. It's a superb ball, this, but it falls to Elmer.
Germany's ball. Three or four England subs warming up, in fact. Here's Ince. Gascoigne. Adams. Adams. What's he doing right back there, Teddy Sheringham? Inside his own half. Anderton.
It's not a problem in being back there, providing someone like Adams or Southgate is going forward, like Elmer and Saladin, but it doesn't happen for us, so it's through back.
Shearer with the cross. Sheringham and Platt trying to reach it, so Sheringham had got forward quickly enough. And now Gascoigne. Can we find another bit of magic here? A little shimmy, a little dummy, and then a simple pass to McManaman. Platt won't get to that. McManaman will to that, though. Adams. Get forward, he says. Oh.
That's why he doesn't go forward, yes. Brian. I mean, it was a good ball, but unfortunately Shearer checked back. But that's what he's got to do if Sheringham's going to drop off. And that's the big difference between the two sides. He's really enjoying the game, isn't he? I don't mean Pele. I don't think he's going to last till the penalties.
For some. And now for Ilts. McManaman plays it down with a head for Southgate. And now for Platt, tangling with Ilts. Held on for it a little too long, then won it back from Ziga. Perhaps the England are picking it up now a little bit. Gascoigne laying a ball forward now to Sheringham. Pearce over on the far side. Gascoigne. It's a foul, pulled down by Muller. And the throw, or rather the kick already taken and found Shearer, being hustled by Babel, who wins and gets it away. Ince. McManaman, a bit of space for him. Given away. Show stopped by Adams. Sure as ever. Ince. Anderton plays it back again. Sheringham. Pearce. There's space down that left-hand side. Ince. Territorial England having a good spell here now. Ince. Can he deliver the killer? There's the cross coming in, but Peter Ilts getting it away for Germany, only as far as Stuart Pearce. Banged in again by him. Sheringham's on this side, and once again Ilts gets the ball away. Shearer's made a run, and he might come for it. just wouldn't fall for him, and McManaman couldn't quite get in there quickly enough. Ince chesting it down. Gascoigne. Sheringham. Flat. Gascoigne. Shearer's pulled away to the far side. Just wouldn't go for us again. And here come Germany. Scholl with the break. This is Kuntz. And Reuter. Muller's in there. Well, he just flicked it on. Kuntz had come flying in, but the flick on it, in fact, just put it over Kuntz's head. Goal kick to England. Oh, Hessler beginning to warm up. Now, there is a canny little midfield player with a fantastic free kick and a lot of experience. That's got to come a long way for that. Didn't really give him a great chance. Gascoigne, oh, he's gone through that one. It's fallen for him nicely. Gascoigne, will he finish it off here? Gascoigne! It very nearly fell for him. And in the end, well, a big smile after a big run.
This is tremendous defending from the Germans. Very strong run from Gascoigne. He keeps going, and he's really favourite. Great tackle. I think it's from Ziege. That's what we've got to do. He's one of the few players in the side who can do it. It's not Platt's forte. He's certainly not Ince's forte.
I guess Helmer is injured.
It's a great tackle. I mean, it's worth a goal to tackle like that. Maybe Bertie Volz will wait a minute now. He just said, hey, hold on. Let's have a look at this.
Well, he's got other defenders he might want to bring on. Bode is one.
Just unbelievable, this. I mean, I've been coming here many years, both as a spectator, unfortunately, in the last few years, and as a player. But I can't believe it was any better than this in '66.
I don't think it was. I've never seen anything quite like this.
It was in black and white then, but the noise is incredible. The crowd's probably slightly better than the game at the moment, but if a goal goes in,
you wait then.
It'll erupt.
Right, it's Anderton with the corner for England. Germany down to 10 men at the moment. Wait for Sheringham to try and slide another of those extraordinary shots on the turn, but it didn't come off. And here we are again with Gareth Southgate. No, cut out by Sammer. Banged away by Muller. Only Scholl is up. And Stuart Pearce hits it forward for England. Up goes Sheringham, a terrific header. Pity for England, Shearer couldn't quite hold on to it.
They'll just take the time now, the Germans, till Elmer comes back on.
Southgate's header, Germany's throw. Kuntz with it.
Two up and unders from the England players, and we've got Swing Low, Sweet Chariot coming from the crowd now. I don't think I've ever heard him in better voice.
Freund's made a good little break here. Kuntz, oh, that's a free kick. Is that a yellow card for Gascoigne? It is.
Call him what you want, but he's put in so much effort. He's tried to defend. He doesn't find it easy to defend. And just like myself, when I found myself in that position, not always timing them properly.
Well, we don't need to get another one. I remember, as you remember, the yellow card he got in Turin, which was the second one, which brought all those tears when we thought England might get through to the World Cup final. What we have to worry about here now is what the Germans will do with this free kick. The score's at 1-1, coming to the last quarter of an hour of the game. It's going to bring on Hessler very soon. Concentration from David Seaman. Scholl's free kick, and he's driven it straight at Gascoigne. outs. Bannerman had left a little bit of room there for Scholl. But then it's banged away by Southgate. Scholl's left fell on his face. The referee wave play on. Scholl thought he was going to get something. The crowd are booing because they thought that was a bit of gamesmanship. And Helmer is still trying to get himself ready to come on the field to bring Germany back to full strength. Ziege moves for Scholl. Down the line it goes, Ziege. This is where the danger can so often come, but stopped that time by Southgate.
I think they've handled him very well tonight, Brian. I mean, Ziege's a handful. Crazy to say that about a left back, but he's had one of his quieter games getting forward here tonight. He's been meant to defend a little bit more.
Started life as a goalkeeper.
Well, I think he made the right decision because he'd have had to wear all these outrageous jumpers and that. I'm sure he wouldn't like that.
Substitution. Thomas Hessler comes on, a member of Germany's World Cup winning side in 1990. Helmer is back and in business. In the meantime, so are England with Paul Gascoigne on the ball. Ince. Quarter of an hour left. Sheringham. We're still waiting to get on. He didn't actually quite make it onto the field of play. Obviously, Bertie Vogts wanted to be sure whether Helmer was fit to continue. This is a good break. If Shearer can see for yourself, but he couldn't quite make it. Sturdily winning it. Sheringham trying to find Shearer. This time he does. Shearer takes it nicely on his chest. He's got some support up as well. But then a slip by Sheringham at the crucial moment as Platt came also flying in. It's Germany possession and Germany's throw.
I think what every young player should see in Alan Shearer is someone who knows his strengths and doesn't try to do things he can't do. Many times he gets in wide positions and he doesn't want to beat the man, he just wants to beat him with the ball. And that wasn't a bad cross there.
Scholl goes off, Hessler comes on.
This is a positive move by the Germans. I mean, Hessler just like to get forward. As you said, he's got tremendous from free kicks.
If we can see free kicks just outside the box, we are in real trouble. Here's Platt. McManaman. Southgate outside him. Southgate's lost out here. There's plenty of space down this left-hand side. Kuntz now with it. Hessler busying himself. Here he is, his first touch. To Ziege. Muller and Kuntz are both in the middle there. But so too was Tony Adams. Gascoigne, very deep. Hits it straight at outs. Southgate bangs that one clear. Helmer moving quite smoothly now. Gets it back to goalkeeper Kupka.
The other thing that's worth mentioning, Brian, is players are getting tired now. They've played a lot of games in a short space of time. England especially, all the games at Wembley on this tiring pitch, and it is a tiring pitch. And all these factors are going to come into play.
Here comes Ziege. Oh, Sammer's up there. Bringing Reuter in, and again it was the England captain that got it away. Reuter again from Sammer's pass. Freund going outside. It's too deep across, and McManaman can bang it away.
But at the moment, the Germans are playing where they want to play. For the first time, really, in this second half, they're playing in the England half, and that's always dangerous with these players.
Helmer. Muller trying to get it through to Helmer again. Once again for Andy Muller. Goal kick. Oh, I think the referee's given the corner. Oh, Muller unhappy there with Pearce trying to get him up. Oh, all Pearce wanted to do, he says, all I wanted to do was shake your hand, and Andy Muller really reacted violently there.
I'm always suspicious when I see people picking players up. It's as if they've done something wrong. But
that's a yellow card for Andy Muller, and does it for Stuart Pearce as well? Certainly it's for Muller.
I think it's just for back chatting at him and that. Oh, he's got Pearce. He's getting Pearce over as well, isn't he? Or, no, he's pointing to the corner, I think.
Well, Muller also misses the next match. So if Germany were to win here, they now are without Reuter, and they're now without Muller, and Bertie Vogts knows he has a problem. And look at the animosity that suddenly has erupted on this pitch. That was Sammer pointing the finger at Pearce, as Germany now take this corner. Very deep one there. Knotted down by Kuntz and gathered. A combination of Seaman and Ince, but the whistle had gone. Free kick to England.
Well, as England-German games go, Brian, it's been a tame affair in terms of no one's really lost the temper. There's not been any outrageously bad tackling. There's been obviously mistimed ones. And probably, as they get tired, players get more frustrated. Maybe you find a bit more of the physical side creeping into it.
McManaman. Pearce gets it back. Seaman, no mistakes please, no, banging it forward, up towards Sheringham. Sheringham got in the air again, but Babel got there fractionally before Shearer. Pearce again, hitting it long with that trusty left foot of his towards Alan Shearer. Foul by Shearer, a bit of pushing as he ran into the ball there. Helps the opponent up, and the free kick was taken long before the referee was ready for it.
I wonder what the chances are of this going into extra time, and for the first time in the championship, seeing this sudden death goal. I don't know if I can stand it, Brian. I don't know how people are going to react. If it's England, I can guess. But I don't know what to expect. I don't think anybody does.
Sheringham. Ince. Doing well there. Referee spreads his arms wide again. Play on, he said. Anderton knocking it in for Gascoigne. Freund. That's due to Iltz. It's certainly got extra time written all over it this game, hasn't it?
Those two fans, they're not sure whether they won anymore. Don't know whether to laugh or cry, but it's been compelling without being exciting.
It's a game really that's living on its tension, and the importance of it really more than anything else than the skill or the excitement factor. Here's Muller. Babel to Reuter, up to Hessler. Down the line it goes. Inch perfect that one, but who's across there again? England's captain.
That rest he had at Arsenal near the end of the season has done him the world of good. He's looked very sharp, very quick, and any time there's been a gap appear in the defence, tonight, much more than any other game, he's been the one who's been plugging it. Any problems, he's been there.
Hessler. Anderton. A bit of cheek and a bit of nerve. And a pass that doesn't quite find McManaman. But McManaman made sure that he found it and then gets a free kick. That's a foul by Ziege.
He's got to be careful too, Brian.
Yeah, he's on a yellow card.
It'll be a five-a-side match, the final.
Yeah.
I think the Czechs will have all their players back though, won't they?
Yes, they had 4 missing today, but they'll all be eligible for the final. Anderton. Shearer pulled out, or rather Sheringham pulled out there, and has found Gascoigne again, tries to get Shearer away. Babel's there with him. Now we need a good cross here from Teddy Sheringham. Oh, he decides to play it back for Stuart Pearce. The crowd wanted the ball, get the ball banged into the box again.
Yeah, unfortunately it came on his left foot, and you know, he's just not willing to take a chance on it. I would just swing it and have a go.
Adams. Anderton. Going towards Platt, who was the furthest man forward. He just caught Sammer there. And Muller's saying, look, you booked me just now for a similar thing. Why don't you take Platt's name? I tell you what, he is running a dangerous game. He's already got a yellow card. If he goes on disputing decisions, you can see the anger in the Hungarian referee's face there. There'll be another yellow card and he'll be off. Just caught Sammer.
I don't think it was anything really vicious, and that's what the referee saw it as. And he's just telling. I think sometimes when the captain, like Muller is tonight, in the absence of Klinsmann, they think they can take liberties. And I don't think they should do that.
Southgate to McManaman. Spellman. That's more like it. Sammer gets it back. Just a little bit of speeding up of the whole thing, a little bit of aggression about England's play there, just for a moment.
Yeah, the big difference to tonight's performance, I mean, obviously the 4 goals helped make that a great performance against Holland the other night, but we've never really got it playing at what I call English pace. This is the way the Germans like to play, stroke it around, but they're doing this for a purpose. Here, you have it, I'll have it back. But eventually, they'll look to get men like Sammer forward. When we do it, we haven't really mastered that art yet. Not for me.
And here is Sammer. Plays it short for Babel, then plays it long into no man's land. Let's see what England can do now. Pearce. Inside the last 5 minutes, as you can see. Just about 4 minutes to go. Seaman hits it long, but he won't find Sheringham. Hessler nodding it back. And in the end it comes to Sheringham again, but it hits it straight at Babel, and now Hessler. Reuter's gone on. Muller's made a terrific run through the middle and found a bit of space as well. That was a curious ball there. Complete miscue there from Thomas Hessler. And a throw to England. As night begins to descend on North London. What twists and turns remain before this evening is over. Wherever they are, you can be sure people will be talking about them tomorrow and for a long time afterwards. Look at the space here now for Sammer to exploit. Hessler wants a bit of the action and gets it. Helmer's here, and outside him is Ziga. That ball just checked enough to fool Kuntz and enable Adams to get in. McManaman. My natural-born pessimism coming to the fore again. We look as though we're running out of ideas now.
Yeah, I think what really is difficult now for Terry Venables and for Bertie Vogts is, what do you do in this extra time? I mean, you've got 15 minutes each way like normal. You think, well, I'll put another forward on or a midfielder. But when it's sudden death, it must make you wonder just what you've got to do. I mean, I'm not sure it's worked out the way people thought it would, this sudden death. Certainly hasn't livened the games up like we thought it would.
Seaman hitting it forward. Just reminding all our viewers, of course, that if it goes to extra time, it is 15 minutes each way. But if a goal is scored, the match ends there as soon as the first goal in extra time is scored. The golden goal, they call it. Hasn't been one yet in these European Championships. Maybe tonight. Platt, Shearer. Pearce. Shearer, who gave us such a wonderful start. minutes.
I think both teams have settled for this extra time. You know, the Germans aren't really pushing players forward, and England are trying to, but we're just not finding them with the final pass. We find it very difficult to get Shearer back in the game.
Ince to Southgate to Ince. Oh, it's given away, and suddenly Hessler, who's got Muller up alongside him. Adams is getting across there to shadow him as best he can. Southgate's getting in a valuable challenge there. It was Paul Ince who lost the ball just inside our own half, and that could have been really costly. Referee unhappy with the throw, is it?
Foul throw, I think.
Foul throw.
There you go.
And he wants Southgate to go back. Well, he'll throw it to Seaman, and Seaman just throws it straight back to Southgate again. I think the crowd really wanted the ball banged into the German half, and let's hope we can snatch something in the last seconds. It's with Tony Adams. Ball banged forward again towards Shearer. Knocked down by him for David Platt. Here's McManaman. Is this the moment for him? Couldn't quite come to him. And then a deflection off the German defender from Platt's shot. England's corner. The last seconds of the game. Elmer's down injured again. And the crowd hold their breath. And Terry Venables wonders if we can yet now snatch a dramatic winner. The clock shows 90 minutes. Darren Anderton with the corner for England. Germany back, every man in the penalty area. Up goes Southgate, knocks it in again. A miscue though by Eilts, but Sammer with a little touch releases Hessler, or rather Kuntz, and Ziege well offside. The referee decided England possession. The game goes on. It's with Gascoigne. Referee looking at the watch again. There's the final whistle, or at least the whistle at the end of 90 minutes, and we're going to go into extra time. That's the situation here at Wembley. We await now extra time. 1-1.
Welcome back to Wembley. Can you bear to watch? Of course you can. Attention of the world. Hundreds of millions of people are centred on this little patch of grass, little more than an acre. It's 1-1 between England and Germany. We're awaiting 30 minutes extra time or a golden goal, which we've yet to experience in this tournament. Are we going to get one, John, do you think?
It would be nice if England could do it, but I think England played better in the second half. I thought they were the better side. Neither team really looked like scoring, but I thought that Germany, they talk about England running out of ideas. I thought Germany were terrible in the second half.
Jack?
Yeah, I think England had the best of that half. I mean, the only problem is they're playing a little bit too much two-touch football and the ball's not moving quick enough. And you're not going to get through a German defence that you're allowed to get organised and pick up their positions and see what you're doing. And it's just a case of England putting the game together a little bit better. They've nearly got through with the odd 1-2, but by and large, it's been handled very nicely by the Germans. The problem is on the break. The Germans are always liable to break on you, and they've had the one best chance in that half, where they nearly made it.
OK, well, is this going to be the first golden goal of the tournament? As long as it's England's, that'll be fine. Let's go back to Kevin and to Brian.
Thanks again, Bob. Well, we don't know whether we're here for another half an hour or whether we're here for 20 seconds. We've certainly got a slight delay while some of the debris from the end of 90-minute drinks are removed from the pitch, the wrappings and so on. And Germany now get this first period of extra time underway. Remember, the first goal that is scored wins the match. But if none are scored in the 30 minutes of extra time, we have penalties. We really are into a no-risk situation for anybody. In fact, that's really what it's done. It's brought caution everywhere, hasn't it?
I think it's had the opposite effect. It's something they're going to have to look at. I mean, this may change. We haven't seen a golden goal. Whoever called it a golden goal, I mean, it's only going to be golden for one of the teams, that's for sure. But I'm be interested to see what happens if England score. I know what's going to happen. But if the Germans score, there's just going to be silence in here, I think, apart from that far corner over there where the German supporters are.
Ince and Adams. Adams. Look as though they're going to play the whole period between them, but no, it's McManaman now released to Pearce down this left-hand side. Gascoigne, no. Picked up by Sama. Hessler. And now Ziege, more through the middle. Here's Freund. Played on again for Thomas Hessler. Handball. It's an accidental one, says the referee. Andy Muller now. Ziege's right in there. Look at Helmer up there as well. Here comes the cross. Played in again. And it was Southgate that got that one away. An important header there for England. It's Anderton. Don't lose the ball there. Pearce. Free kick to Germany. Stefan Reuter with us.
I know the prices were pretty steep for these matches, right? But there's been a lot of extra time in it, so people at least had a bit of value for money there.
Gascoigne, Anderton, Gascoigne again, just ahead of him is Ince. Nice neat footwork there, quick feet there by Ince. Played down the line. And Anderton! Oh, he's hit the post!
Oh, I've never come closer, Brian. How unlucky can you be? They can't believe it, look. But they must believe they're going to get another chance. They mustn't believe for 1 minute that, oh, it's not going to be our night. This is a great ball from McManaman. And Anderton does everything right. But look, the thickness of the post.
Well, here you go again. That time it was Sheringham, but Sheringham was stopped. And now there could be problems the other end for England. Iles. Kuntz waiting in the middle. Look at Helmer up here again. And Muller's in there as well. Right across the face of that England goal. And Kuntz absolutely threw himself at it. Helmer's been a fantastic player tonight for Germany. Both in defence and coming forward like this so often.
This ball's too good, Brian. I mean, it's just too good. The pace of it. Needed a little bit less pace, but he decided to blast it across.
Right. Seaman with a kick. Touched on by Shearer. Banged away by Reuter. Up goes Adams.
We couldn't have 15 minutes each way like this, Brian, could we?
Well,
it's a tremendous pace. This is the pace that England have got to play at.
We have definitely upped tempo in this period of extra time.
This is our pace.
Ince, this is more like it. A driving pace now through the midfield. Sheringham playing it wide. Down the line from Pearce to Shearer. Babel's hardly left his side.
That's been a real good contest, and for the first time in the tournament, I don't think Alan Shearer's got the better of Babel. It's been a very even contest.
Willing the ball into that German net. Pearce with the throw. Shearer knocking it on. The Germans didn't know where it was, and they still don't at the moment. Played in once more. Platt is right in there, and Anderton's in there. Platt's in there, and in the end the Germans get it away. And Hessler chasing, but Adams, as sure can be, joined by Ince, played to Pearce. Enjoying that and urging England forward again for this golden goal. Shearer into the path of Anderton, just wouldn't run for him. Hanneman couldn't get there either, but Muller, now there's a real problem. Adams is backing off. Muller's got allies up alongside him, and it's tipped away superbly by David Seaman.
Well, Adams, I'm sure he made the right decision. He kept backing off. He didn't want to commit himself, but Muller's got a tremendous shot on him. And Seaman, you know that's not going to beat him. It's got to be right in that top corner to beat this fella the way he's played in this tournament.
But a corner for Germany. Screw tightened again on England's nerves. Abel, the defender's up there. Elmer's up there. Kuntz is in there. Ziege, another tall fella's in there. Defend well here. Ah! No.
Pushing.
No, there's a pushing. It's not been given. It's not been given. There was some pushing, and the referee spotted it. The German jubilation has been cut short. The smiles are back on England's faces. Oh.
Half the crowd have fainted here, Brian. It's a tremendous header. I can't see the pushing, but here we go. Yes, there is pushing in there, but not by the player who scored the goal.
Kuntz it was who put it in. So it's still all to play for here. One goal disallowed, and Anderden's hit the German post. And here's Hessler, and now Muller. Played again there, and once again England, I think it was McManaman who got his head to it, and Kuntz who now picks it up, and he's got Iltz. This is a good spell for the Germans. They've got another corner.
Well, that typifies England's spirit there, because it was Steve McManaman, not renowned for his defensive headers, who saved the day there. But Muller's starting to run riot now. And, you know, it's about fitness. And I just wonder whether playing all these games at Wembley on this energy-sapping pitch is going to really be England's downfall at the end of the day. I hope not.
Well, here's another corner, which Andy Muller's going to take. Terry Venables anxious, and every reason to be. Floated a long way in, but it over Ziege's head. And it's gone this time for the goal kick.
Well, this period of extra time has been like I thought the game would be for 90 minutes. Maybe I'm expecting too much, but the pace now, we can play at this, and of course the Germans can, and that's what's making it such a terrific battle at the moment.
Paul Ince. Yes. I don't think Anderden will get to that. Iltz is full of running. Hessler loses out. England get possession. Played now to Teddy Sheringham. Trying to get Shearer on the far side. Onto the volley. No! Gascoigne went flying in there. And it looked as though it needed, well, it did need just the merest touch. And suddenly it looked as though England were into the final. Shearer's half-hit shot. Gascoigne just got a touch to it and no more.
If he'd have had size 9 boots on instead of 8.5, he'd have scored, Brian. Oh, I thought it was in. Well, what a great ball from Shearer.
Up and down the country, if you're not on the edge of the seats previously tonight, I'm sure that's where you are now. This is a riveting period of extra time. Shearer. Trying to get McManaman away, but Babel's there.
This is what they hoped would happen when they suggested this golden goal. 2 teams, one getting the ball going at one team, and then the other one countering. And it just makes for fantastic. It's the first time it's really worked in this tournament.
Chase is on, there's Helmer, but I think it'll go into touch for an England throw. Nearly 10 minutes of the first period of extra time gone. It long towards Sheringham, battling in the air there with Babel. Muller, it's Adams, calm, plays it wide. Hanneman, oh, he's shown far too much of that to the defender, to Ziege. But England have got it back again.
A lot of tired legs out there now, and they're playing just on the adrenaline. It must be fantastic to be playing out there.
Ince. Anderton knocks it back again. Sheringham, Pearce, Gascoigne. No offside flag in any case up against Alan Shearer.
that chance again. I mean, it's a shot come cross. The keeper can't get it. Oh, Gascoigne can't get it.
There are a few million feet sticking out in homes up and down the country, just urging that one in.
I felt my groin go. I was stretching for him.
It's a free kick now for Germany.
We'll have to go in for treatment tomorrow.
Well,
I bet he's saying to himself, if I'm going to have 4 years
of this,
he's certainly got to go grey. I guarantee him that.
So Andy Moller with the free kick. Babel, Kuntz, Helmer, Hessler and Ziege. 5 of them in the box there for Germany. Plenty back for England. And England have got it away. For Anderton. Free kick to England.
Reuter's got to be careful. Freund's got, a lot of them got to be careful. But the one man who, for me, has epitomised what England's all about now has been Tony Adams at the back. He's broke up everything. He's been a tower of strength, Brian.
Kuntz playing it down. Adams. Southgate threading the ball through here for Anderton. Pierce outside him. McManaman inside. Adams. Southgate. Gascoigne. Gosh, he was just a stud length away from all the headlines tomorrow, this Gazza. Shearer. Might still get them. But here's Reuter. Hessler. Muller. He's the one who worries me more than anybody, and Sammer had made it. Look at Sammer right up there. But now, if we can counter-attack quickly, Sammer's gone well forward. Shearer and Sheringham and Gascoigne and McManaman are up there. And the ball ricochets to Shearer. And now to McManaman. And now towards Gascoigne once again.
Anybody who questions this guy's fitness, Brian, he's made some great runs in this extra time, and he's again he needs Adams' legs on the end of those that backside of his. He's not far away. He's not as close as last time. It's a great ball in from McManaman, but he's really covering the ground, isn't he?
So near. Fall for Gascoigne again, plays a gentle ball to Anderton, gets it back again to Sheringham, played into McManaman, and now for Platt. And here's Shearer again, and look who's alongside him. Babel is there again. Now can Shearer get the better of him this time? He can. He's crossed it in a long way. Anderton shot across the face of the German goal, just wide.
He's got better as this tournament's gone on, and I think tonight's been one of his better games. He still can give more, but this will look very close to the people on the far side of the ground. It's actually a good 2 or 3 yards wide in the end.
Topka with the goal kick, playing the last seconds of the first period of extra time. Anderton's header. Gascoigne. Hits, no foul. Anderton gets in there. That's the sort of spirit. Half-time whistle's gone. 15 minutes of extra time still to go. Still no golden goal. And, well, just what agonies Terry Venables must be going through. So So away we go to the second period of extra time. Minutes separating us from another penalty shootout. Another penalty shootout against the Germans, which we had, of course, in the 1990 World Cup in Turin, which the Germans won. Bobby Charlton, Sir Bobby there, and Gary Neville. Gary wondering, I suppose, well, am I going to be in action on Sunday in the final? Won't be long before we know. David Platt. Heights needs to be held. There's Helmer again. Heights. Ziege. Played in again to Muller. They've got to watch him. Oh, Heights! Rather, Ziege was right through, and
this is terrific football from the Germans, Brian. I mean, it takes two to make a game, and in this period of extra time, you're seeing two sides totally committed. Watch this for football. You've got to remember, these players have been playing now something like maybe 110 minutes. Look at that.
That was as good a move as they've made, and as good a chance as they've made, actually. Oh, it's given away by Southgate. My goodness me. Adams was to his rescue there as Hessler came flying in. Adams playing it back to Seaman. He can't pick it up. Freund with a header for Germany. Out. In steps Adams. And now Sheringham. And now Anderton. Adams again. Finding McManaman. Anderton racing for it, but Ziege will get there before him. It's a German throw. Just a quick cautionary word from the referee to McManaman. Ziege with a throw back to goalkeeper Kopka. Southgate's header.
I think Kuntz has done a very good job in the absence of Klinsmann. He's not a Klinsmann, that's for sure, but he's run every blade of grass on this pitch in the course tonight. And of course he's got the goal that keeps them on level terms.
These two between them have caused all sorts of trouble, particularly Andy Muller. Here's Hessler again. Compact little player.
And of course, he's got a pair of fresh legs as well, which is something, you know, we've kept the same team on all the time.
Southgate got in. Good challenge. Good play by Gareth Southgate. Sheringham won't get there before Babel, but it'll be an England throw. It's McManaman. Freund was really snapping at him. Gascoigne. Sheringham. Gascoigne. Back to Southgate. Up forward again. Shearer caught offside. Couldn't have been much in it.
He's worked tirelessly, Shearer, but he has not been able to get in this game. Apart from obviously the second minute when he scored that terrific opening goal for England. Babel has given him a real tough time.
Substitute coming on for Germany. So number 3, Marco Bode, who's well, Helmer's going off. Bode, who's Werder Bremen defender, 4 caps to his credit. A good, strong central defender. Helmer's been terrific, though, hasn't he?
I was going to say, he may be good, he may be strong. He won't be as good and strong as this guy going off. He has. Remember that tackle where he got his injury? That's as good as a goal. Defenders have got to do that, but he's been tremendous tonight. Not just defensively, he's made a goal, he stopped a goal. And he's been very adventurous for a defender.
So Bode's on. Southgate just stuck a foot out. Berda's first job is to obstruct him. That's surely a free kick. No. Oh, that surprises me. I think the referee's done well, but I think he was wrong there.
Well, he's human, Brian. He's going to make mistakes, and I'm for sure he made one there. But he's allowed this game to flow. Biggest problem being the players at times haven't let it flow, but certainly this extra time has.
Ince. Cracking run again. Freund is being called to him.
I think he's got to make allowances in this period for players being tired. Normally that's a booking, but you know, I don't think there's any malice in that challenge.
A free kick for England. Paul Gascoigne with it. Stuart Pearce has gone up on the far side. Filled in and flicked on. Flicked on a second time actually by Teddy Sheringham, got the second touch. Back the first. Back goes Stuart Pearce to defensive duties.
You always feel all night that England have been superior from set pieces, but this is just unlucky. I mean, there's nothing Teddy Sheringham can do about that. Just hits it. We're heading towards penalties, Brian. There's been no golden goals yet.
Up goes Adams, wins it in the air. Here's Gascoigne. There's the ball played forward for McManaman. No, that was a foul.
You try telling those 80,000 supporters it was a foul, though. They think it was a fair shoulder charge.
Let's see if they were right. Bit of pushing and shoving. 6 of one, half dozen the other, actually. But free kick given.
Used to be a shoulder charge in the old days, that, Brian.
Sammer will take it. Lost it. Little header by Sheringham. A lovely touch, and Shearer just offside. A lovely touch by Gascoigne, and Shearer, I do think, was just offside. One in the first place by Sheringham, picked up very quickly indeed by Gascoigne. But now England need to be backpedaling now as Sammer drives this free kick towards Hessler on the far side. Shaken off Anderton. Here's Sammer. Need to get to him fairly quickly. This could be nasty. Reuter. There's the cross, a deep one towards Boda, who's just come on, and McManaman puts it behind for the corner.
I wonder if Roy Evans is watching this and thinking, if I have a problem at centre-half, I might put this guy there. He's certainly found himself in that. This is a good header again. Keeps his eye on the ball and does the right thing, takes no chances.
Babel, Boda, Hessler, Kuntz are all in there. And it's a long one towards Boda. Shot on the turn, banged away by Paul Ince, I think it was. Oh, goodness, he hit a great shot on the turn, the substitute, Marco Boda. But Ince got in the way. I think Seaman was behind him. But England back on their heels again at the moment. One slip and it could all be over. Here's the throw. And they've picked up that man Sammer again. Played wide again. The flag has stayed down. The cross is in. Stuart Pearce knocks it away. Really tense moments these now. Sammer once again. Ince tried to get in there and just put him off enough. And Gascoigne finds McManaman, who now finds Shearer. And now McManaman. Can he get there before out? McManaman across the goal and saved.
Wow. Well, he just got tired, Brian. What a great little move that was. I mean, we're into the 115th minute now.
Here's the fresh legs of Boda, though. And the old legs, worthy, trusty legs of Tony Adams broken up again. Gascoigne, the crowd now are really enjoying this. Gascoigne. Anderton. And a goal kick. 5 minutes away from penalties.
It's a great ball from Shearer, I think it is here. And this is what the man wants to do. I think his first touch probably didn't take him in where he wanted to go. But he's tired and he gets no power on. And that's food and drink, really, for Pop. you've got to give credit to the Germans as well here tonight, Brian. They've come into this cauldron that Wembley's become over this tournament, and they've played a full part in this.
Without two of their best players as well,
yeah.
Kohler and Klinsmann.
That's right. You know, you've got to take your hats off to them.
Reuter. Foul there by Darren Anderton.
I'm amazed more players haven't had cramp. Remember, sometimes over 90 minutes here, players get cramp. We're into 115 now, and the fitness of the players has been tremendous. I don't know what effect it'll have on the players when they go back to the clubs in about 2 or 3 weeks' time.
Right. Let me ask you something about the penalties now, which, I mean, if we're coming to them in 4 minutes' time. I mean, David Seaman has been absolutely brilliant, hasn't he? And I'm just wondering whether his reputation will be such that, in fact, he will now seem superhuman to the Germans, whether that might just give us an edge if it comes to penalties.
It certainly will give us a psychological advantage, but, you know, whoever's selected to take the penalties here, I mean, whichever side loses this way in the semi-final, just like you know, obviously the French have gone out today, you keep thinking to yourself there must be a better way. But as yet, no one's come up with it.
Mind you, Kopka in the German goal is no slouch either. Terrific keeper. Well, Freund has gone off. They're playing with 10 at the moment, but they've got a free kick. And Sammer's taking his time. He's floated it now towards Kuntz and Bode, both in there, but David Platt will retrieve it for England. Up to Sheringham, taken on his chest, plays it to McManaman. McManaman's got somebody behind him, and 80,000 people told him that. Anderton couldn't quite get there. Babel again. What a terrific game he's had.
He's been absolutely outstanding. He's been able to take care of Shearer as well as anybody can. Not to say Shearer hasn't had his moments against him, but he's also been able to tidy up as well. Tremendous for such a young player.
Here's Pearce. Shearer for Gascoigne. And now for Anderton. Long range shot maybe? No. I think he intended playing a ball through for Gascoigne's run, but it didn't really begin to work. And here's this dangerous man, Andy Muller again. Bode, the defenders, come on and spent more time forward for Germany than any defensive duties at all. Hessler playing it wide again. Offside surely. The flag had stayed down though.
I'm not sure he was offside. I think unfortunately the player, Bowden, thought he was offside as well and made no attempt for the ball.
McManaman jinking, looking to try and get Ziege into a challenge, then finds Ince. Platt has gone wide. He's full of running. I thought he'd got the better of Sammer.
He's given a corner, I think.
Yeah, and a substitution's being made now. So the Germans now bringing on number 19, Thomas Strunz.
That doesn't help us with Strunz and Kuntz on there, but we'll do our best.
Well, Strunz was sent off a couple of games ago, so he's on now. Strunz obviously for Freund. And here's England's corner with the last minute or so of extra time.
We've always looked dangerous from set pieces.
Yes.
Can we just find one here?
Stuart Pearce driving it in. It wasn't a good one. Southgate. It's been calm assurance right through this tournament, and it's not deserted him there. A little flick on. Can Anderton get there? Again, it was Iltz who came in, and the free kick's been given to Germany. Just for a moment, it looked as though England were going to be in there, and then Iltz arrives again. As you say, he's been a total insurance policy for them right through this tournament.
He's been for them tonight what Tony Adams has been for England, and you can't pay him any higher compliment than that. Found time to do his own job and help others out when they've got in trouble.
Don't let him get too close to goal with that ferocious shot of his. England get it away again. Well, we're at the end of a period of extra time and no golden goal. But just as we had in the 1990 World Cup in Turin, we have a penalty shootout upcoming against Germany in a semi-final of a major competition.
You really can't split these two sides. Neither side's done enough for me to win this game, and it's probably right and proper that something as fluky as penalty kicks is going to decide it, because...
Well, penalty kicks is what it is. The score stays 1-1 after extra time. It's time for a penalty shootout. Strong nerves from now on, and that's for those of you at home, I'm sure, and certainly those of us up here, to say nothing of those fellas down there, as Andreas Kopka goes in to goal and Alan Shearer prepares to take the first penalty for England.
You wouldn't want anybody else taking it, right, would you?
Kopka saved against Zola of Italy. Shearer has scored a penalty as well, so... 1-0! Paulin's facing the other way. Doesn't like to look. That's how it gets you. But then a terrific penalty there. Nerves of steel there. Perfect penalty from Alan Shearer.
Surely, Brian, when they see this shirt in the goals as well, it must put you off.
Well, he's a formidable figure, David Seaman, and it's Thomas Hessler and the whistles and the boos all around the stadium. Hessler, with his nerve hold, it certainly will. That took some doing. That really took some doing with that crescendo of booing and whistling around there. David Black comes up next for England. 1-1.
This is how you've got to take penalties against him. Look at that.
He obviously shut out all the noise as well, Kevin. That was a real pro in action there.
He's been around. He's played in big games. He's won things.
Well, David Black now. Good penalty taker. Nice cool brain. Terry Venables has a little puff of the cheeks. And David Black does the business. 2-1 to England on penalties.
Another great penalty. Under pressure. Keeper goes the right way, but he can't get this one.
So, England leading 2-1. And here comes the next penalty. And it's scored by Thomas Struntz. 2-2.
Another great penalty.
Oh, Stuart Pearce, who said, I'll take one in the last game against Spain. I'll go third. And he banged it in. That's a nice picture.
It is.
Gascoigne.
They can afford to laugh.
Well, that's...
They haven't got to take it.
Maybe not yet.
Not yet, anyway.
But I think every Englishman's thoughts now are with Stuart Pearce. He missed that one in Turin back in 1990. But not tonight! The crowd love that. A thumbs up from Stuart Pearce. The spirit of England there in every sense. And he gathers up the ball, hands it on, with concentration on that man's face, and England are 3-2 ahead. Next one up. It's Stefan Reuter. Already not able to play in the final, but a man of vast experience, whose nerves need to be strong here. And they were 3 apiece. There's some brilliant penalty taking here tonight. I know that's not going to console you. You want some brilliant penalty taking by England, maybe.
He gets his hand to this one, Brian.
Yeah, not so good by the Germans.
Just couldn't keep it out. But
just touched it up into the roof of the net. Paul Gascoigne comes next. So very close, so very, very close with that touch that couldn't quite hold it. And Gascoigne himself so very close with that chance that came to him in extra time from Shearer's cross. Well, he's a man who seems to have no nerves. But I don't know how much more the rest of us can take, or those there. Paul Ince has stood looking at the dressing room tunnel from the moment these penalties have been taken. There's Gascoigne, a beautiful, beautiful penalty. Just part of the day's work, he says. Ziga, left-footed. Well, he's done it as well.
Brian, have you ever seen 8 better penalties than that on the trot? I mean, even the one that David Seaman got his hand to was a tremendous penalty. This is another excellent penalty.
Ziga and Teddy Sheringham now. As such, yes, Terry Venables, the nation shared that moment of anguish with you when that one went in. Teddy Sheringham. A long run up, but will it be a successful conclusion? There's your answer. The pressure on Germany again. Can they find a 5th successful penalty shooter? As you say, the penalties have been of the highest standard imaginable.
Couldn't place it better. Tremendous penalty again. Got to take your hats off to these players.
It's Kuntz who scored the goal for Germany to equalise the one by Shearer. Another left footer. Can David Seaman stop this one? No, it's gone to the roof of the net again. So we go into sudden death penalties.
Well, I've said it before, it's a terrific one, isn't it?
Yeah, Gareth Southgate coming forward now.
I think there was a magnet up in that top left-hand corner.
Well, he's only just recently forced his way into the England side, Southgate. Model, they call him, at Aston Villa. He does everything right. Well, let's hope he can do this right as well. Saved it! Oh, my word. Muller. I tell you, the experienced Muller is the man who comes up to take the next penalty. It was hit far too close to Proctor, and suddenly England's dreams of European glory are beginning to fade, unless David Seaman can bring off another miraculous save, this time from Andy Muller. Don't worry about it, Stuart Pearce said. That's an interesting creature. He's been through it before, he knows. He lost to the Germans in 1990 in a semi-final penalty shootout. Andy Muller against David Seaman. And the Germans go into the final, and England are out. The dream is over for England and for Terry Venables on a penalty shootout, and it's Germany who meet the Czech Republic in the final here on Sunday. Gareth Southgate's missed penalty. What a tough business it is, and what heartbreak it will be for that young man and for England players generally. Poor Southgate, the jubilation of the Germans. Once again, Klinsmann and Sheringham, old buddies at Tottenham, foes on the night, but friends again now. But a night that began so brilliantly for England and for Terry Venables ended so disappointingly. They're trying to console Gareth Southgate. Terry Venables is there. Don't worry, he said. Now, that's good management. Don't worry. Don Howe there with him as well, and Jurgen Klinsmann there as well. All pros together. Stuart Pearce, he was successful with his. But England, after such a brilliant start, Southgate being led by Tony Adams, towards the England fans. Come on, you've played really well. You don't deserve to go out in this fashion, but you have, and you've got to accept it. And now let's thank the crowd for what they've done.
This team has taken this crowd with them. They've won them over, Brian. And I tell you something, they've put English football right back on the map, this team.
Absolutely.
I feel sorry for Southgate, but he'll learn from this experience. He's had a great tournament.
So that's how it stands. England go out, Germany go through to meet the Czech Republic.
Welcome back to Wembley. There's no hiding the disappointment on three faces here in this studio because Germany are in the final, not England. A penalty shootout yet again. John, your face is...
Well, I mean, that just sums up football for me. You know, we have to realise England are one of the best teams in the world. We've played Germany off the park, who are many people's favourites. And with a bit of luck, as it showed in the golden goals extra time, you know, we could have easily have gone through. So the future looks well.
Jack, I think just before I go to you, Jack, I can hear that Gareth Southgate... No, Gareth Southgate's kick, Jack. That's what we're going to see at this moment. The decisive penalty here.
Difficult for the boy to come into the team and had to take this penalty. Goalkeeper went the right way. The ball wasn't struck with enough pace on it. It was either going to be a placement by him and the goalkeeper tours the right way.
You're absolutely choked, aren't you?
I thought the lads deserved something out of their game tonight, and to go out on penalty shootouts, okay, we got through one, but we didn't get through this one. And it was just sad. I mean, you've never seen better 5 penalties by the 5 English lads that stood up and did them in your life. Yeah. And the Germans at the same time, of course. But there's no disgrace in going out in a game like that. It was hard fought, they're good players, very competitive. And to finish on a penalty shootout, well, it has to be one or the other. So
Andy Moller took this penalty for Germany, John, and I mean, he's probably one of the men of the match, really.
Well, he's the captain, and he didn't fancy taking a penalty because he wasn't in the 5, you know. And it would have been interesting had Gareth Southgate scored that, because Andy Moller, not being one of the 5, wouldn't really have fancied a penalty.
And you know, he misses the final, of course.
And, of course, he misses the final, so,
now,
you know.
Yeah.
Well.
Now then, we're looking for an interview from Terry Venable. No, we can't hear from Terry at the moment, so we're just going to hide. Well, we can't hide our disappointment, really.
No, I'm disappointed with the result, but not the performance and not the competition overall. You know, it's about time people start believing how good England really are.
Sad way to go for Terry Venables to go out, Jack.
It is a sad way for Terry to go out. He said he was going after the competition. I would love to have seen him go out next Sunday if he was going to go out at all. But he'll get over it, Terry. He did exactly the right thing with Gareth Southgate. I mean, the lad that's missed it is the one you've got to go and console a little bit, because he's let everybody down. He's failed on something which everybody thinks is easy, but when you've got that ball down there and you've got to go do it, is very, very difficult.
And I must say, I think Gareth Southgate has been our best player throughout the tournament.
That is football. What about the legacy for the New England coach? Because Terry Venables has been in charge for the last time. Well, Glenn Hoddle, what does he inherit?
I think he's very fortunate, because not only is he inheriting a good team, he's inheriting the country getting behind him, he's inheriting, hopefully, the press getting behind him, and now with a World Cup campaign, as long as the country give Glenn a little bit of time and he can build on that pattern of play, the way they actually play, I can see England doing well in the next World Cup.
It's so disappointing all the way around that it should finish like this, Jack, after such a wonderful tournament in the, well, as I said, football coming home.
It's been on an up and up since the very first game against the Swiss, and real high against the Dutch. And then we got through in the penalty shootout and everything looked rosy, and I really did fancy England to win this game tonight. But the Germans are so resilient. They keep at the pattern, they keep playing the way they play. And you've really got to grind them down. I felt England might have gone in behind them a little bit more often in the game, but that wasn't to be. Now, whether that's because the Germans work so hard at you across midfield and don't give you the time to see your last pass, and they make you settle on the ball and play 1-2s, that we didn't really get behind them often enough.
Very briefly, can we look ahead to the final here? Germany against the Czech Republic, John.
Well, it's the European Championship final, so the winners will be the best team in Europe. So I hope that it's well supported. I hope we get a full house, and you know, I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a good game. The semi-finals are always quite tight because everyone wants to get to Wembley. In the FA Cup, everyone wants to get to the Championship final. Now we're in the final, hopefully they can settle down and play some good football.
Jack, it's a repeat of the '76 final, at least Czechoslovakia.
Yes, Czechs are in with a shout as well, because we've got all our players back now to play in this one, and it's good luck with them.
Tonight for England, it's been a repeat of Italia 90. Only Germany stood between them and a place against the Czech Republic in the final. But it's been a tale of penalties again. This time, the agony belonged to Gareth Southgate. Kopka making the decisive save, and seconds later, Andy Moller made it 6 out of 6 for Germany. It's been an epic. But England are out of Euro 96. Bye-bye.